Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.
There we go. Got it. What up, y'all? Certified salute to the whole foundational Black American family tree. Certified salute to everybody. Welcome back here. We told y'all no matter what they did, no matter what they tried, they was not going to stop this story. They was not going to stop us from being real Black grassroots activists. Ain't no way in hell. So we're going to be in here. We're going to run it back time after time after time again. You cannot stop certified Black society. You can't stop foundational Black Americans. You damn sure can't stop the Black Alpha Network. Smash that like button. We here. Family, this is a Black American summer. This is a foundational Black American decade and beyond. We're going to continue to go forward. We're going to continue to put in work. I don't give a damn what they put in front of us. You cannot censor us. You cannot stop us. We're going to continue to give it uncut, raw, straight to the point, all facts. FBA certified salute to everybody who's in the building, in the place. Y'all know how we do. We're going to continue to break it down. On this episode, family, they tried to stop it the other day, all right? Word on the street is they're watching everybody in the new Black media. Word on the street is they trying to stop the Black grassroots. But let me give them a spoiler. I want them to listen real close, okay? There's nothing anybody can do to stop us from holding it down for foundational Black Americans. I don't give a damn about your Wi-Fi. I don't give a damn about your glitches, your computers, and none of that. When we want to bring the truth, you gonna get it. When we want to drop receipts, we gonna drop them. And when we want to speak the truth, which is 24/7, it's gonna be heard. So we're gonna stand on everything, represent each other, and we're gonna talk about some of the funny things going on in this whole movement. And we're gonna talk about, as we get closer to reparations, never take your eyes off the supremacists, because now you're seeing all of these situations pop up and they're trying to run us down the same path, but none of that is going to work. So I send a certified salute to everybody who's standing on justice, everybody who's standing on the lineage, standing for what is right by us, not by them, not by they, not by the others, by us. If we say it's good, then it's good. If we say it's not, then it isn't. That's the way we're moving forward. That's the way we're going to continue to move forward. So I send that certified salute to everybody. Let's break it down. Who's in the chat right now? Foundational Black American, roll call, roll call, roll call. Let me see where you are. I need to see everybody. We are in here. Where you at? Where you at right now, family? Let's represent every city, every town, every state. There ain't no stopping what we got. No man separate what we create. When we stand on business, 1 billion strong, everything gets done and everything gets accomplished. FBA, we win all the time by knockout. That part. So let's go to work, y'all, as we always do. We're going to talk about our good brother, Roger Fortson. But we're not just only going to talk about him. We're going to talk about Breonna Taylor. We're going to talk about Atiana Jefferson. We're going to talk about Anaya Jones. We're going to talk about how foundational Black Americans only got each other's back. Only foundational Black Americans are looking out for foundational Black Americans. Why we need an anti-foundational Black American hate crime law specifically. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how we enforce it. Do y'all realize that in this whole situation that happened to our good brother, it's been quite some time now. We still don't know who the sheriff is because he's hiding his face. The sheriff is hiding the deputy, but the sheriff, I'm talking about Eric Aiden is his name. We're going to talk about him and how he gives these BS press conference. We don't really know much about him. Don't know the deputy. And who are these Karens that they're hiding in the videos? You see these videos and don't nobody know what it is. You heard about these 911 calls that have been retracted. Nobody knows about those. We done made attempt after attempt after attempt right here on the Black Alpha Network to get to the bottom of all that. And every attempt that we've made, they try to sidestep us. This episode, out of all the ones you done heard covering this story, this episode is going to be the most thorough. I promise you that. And by the end of this episode, you're going to have every piece of knowledge on what's going on. Because family, I'm telling you, it is a war out here. And we've all been in a war, a 500-year war. all right, an anti-black war. And you got all the main players still playing the game. It's all about us going against the dominant society, all their minutes. So you got the erasures, you got all the politics, you got the whole game, family, but we are all we got, so we're going to have to stand on business. We're going to have to stand on it more than ever, and as we go, we're going to have to push forward. Let me make this one major declaration to everybody. Y'all see me in Jacksonville during that hate crime that happened. And I pulled out my phone and I demanded a hate crime law. I didn't demand it from one political party. I demanded it from all the political parties. I didn't just say one person. I said them all. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to take that same energy to Washington, D.C., because y'all know the rally for reparations is coming up. I will be a speaker. And I'm telling you right now, I am going to demand a hate crime law that protects foundational Black Americans. I'm going to do it on the biggest main stage ever. And by the time I'm finished, I got something for y'all that the whole world's going to know. So we want our reparations. We want our tangibles. We want our hate crime law, and we're going to enforce every last one of those. You got people running around here talking about something. Well, who's going to enforce the law? We are. We are. Everything that happens for us is going to be done by us, okay? And everything done by us, we're going to be the ones to enforce it. So it's all about us breaking it down. And y'all know how we live. We've been living this for a long time. Never take your eyes off supremacy. Never take your eyes off supremacy. We're in a new era now where they're putting all these tethers and everybody in front of us. Understand, those are just operatives of supremacy. But you're still dealing with Black folks who get harmed at their houses. Black folks who come home, Black folks who speak about this, and then they try to shut us down. You can't shut down what's too thorough, family. This is Foundational Black America. This is the Black Alpha Network. This is the Black Grassroots, and we're going to represent it to the fullest. They're not going to let this story go away. I promise y'all. I promise y'all. I make a vow to everybody. I'm going to continue to be standing on Black activism in the Black Grassroots. Y'all know what they're trying to do right now. Let's keep it real. Right now, they want this Roger Fortson story to go away. You already starting to see it go out the news cycle. The dominant society wants to stop you. They want to stall you. They want to sabotage you. If they can't do one of those, family, then you already know what type of time it is. I see you in there, Sage. Y'all, I see you, brother. Certified salute. They know what it is, family. They want to stop us by any means. That's what they want. And they don't want this story to go on. I want y'all to go back. Go back to Trayvon Martin. Y'all pick one. Trayvon Martin, Jordan Davis, okay? It's getting to the point now where we starting to mix names up. We're mixing up names. We like, damn, Atiana Jefferson. Oh, no, that was Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor, oh, no, that was Sandra Bland. Oh, no, Sandra Bland, no, that was Corinne Gaines. We have been subjected to anti-Black racism in this 500-year race war, family, where we're literally getting to the point where we're mixing them up. You got Black folks who have hashtag names of other Black folks, and then they get harmed. Remember this, Mike Brown knew who Trayvon Martin was. All right, let's get that straight. All right, they knew who Jordan Davis was. They know who Tamir Rice was. Philando Castillo, Eric Gardner, Alta Sterling. These people all knew who each other were. So you could be the person hashtagging the Black person, and then you could be the person on the hashtag. Don't let the day-to-day operations fool you. We are in a supremacist war, and I'm never going to stop talking about this. I want to always bring this to the forefront. Family, everything affects everything, and it all ties in. It all ties in. We got 64,000 missing Black American women, all right? 64,000, y'all, all right? Do they talk about that on the news, or do they talk about voter rights? Have you heard any Democratic shield talk about that? No, they haven't. They out here talking about who to vote for and how you going to go down and cast a ballot. You got all that. And that's not, let me tell you, that's not even everybody. All right. Always they undercount us. So if it's 64,000 on the books, guarantee you it's about 84,000 to 100,000 off the books, not to mention Black men. OK, so when you talk about the missing Black men, the missing Black women, this is why we out here, family, staying on code. This is why when you see a foundational Black American walking down the street, you make sure you make eye contact with them. You give them that head nod. You give them that certified salute to let them know, family, we all moving as one unit. That's what we moving as, family. Never let the system of supremacy make you comfortable. You show me somebody who's comfortable in the system of supremacy, I'm going to show you a victim of the system of supremacy. The S.O.S, family. So they want to get this story out of the picture. Look at these pictures I got up. All right, look at them. Look at them. All right, look at these people. These are Black souls, family. And when I was putting this together, I ran out of room because there's so many more. There's so many more. We're talking about young. We're talking about old. We're talking about men. We're talking about women. We're talking about the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 2000s. Where does it stop? Who stops it? We. All answers come back home to foundational Black Americans. All answers and all questions come back home to foundational Black Americans. All the work that goes down is because of foundational Black Americans. I promise y'all, when I first started the Black Alpha Network, my main goal was about activism. I didn't give a damn about broadcasting shows and none of that. All right, whether it's going to be on the show with thousands of people in the chat room, which I've had, or it's going to be in the street at a hate crime like I've been. It did not matter. It was about bringing justice to everybody. When I'm walking down the street, y'all, and I see little Black kids getting off the bus, I watch them till they get home to make sure one of these race soldiers don't show up. So we're not seeing their mothers on the news. How many times, y'all? How many more? What you going to do, vote out of this? Hell no. The couch is the answer. Standing on business is the answer, and us sticking together is the answer. That's what it's all about. We all in a race war together. We all are brothers and sisters. The reason why we say we brothers and sisters, family, is because we the only ones who got each other's back. Nobody does. And then the dominant society is bringing in millions of more people who are just going to add on to this. It's all about activism. It's all about sticking up for each other. Text your brother. Ask him, is he okay? Text your sister. Your friend that you ain't talked to in 3 weeks because you've been too busy, text them. Ask them if they're all right. Do they need something? Do they need help? Because we all we got, family. That one phone call that you place can change the world. When you see little kids outside, you watch them till they get home, all right? Go talk to their parents. They say it takes a village. Who created that? We did. It's all about family, y'all. It's all about family. Take care of your immediate family, then we'll get to the world. Right now, inside of these borders, these 50 states, we got to look out for foundational Black Americans because they're doing this every day. Latasha Harlins, want to talk about that? Latasha Harlins passed away at 14 years old, all right? Latasha Harlins passed away when I was a child, and I've lived to be 30-some years older than her. Come on, man. Come on, really? This is what we talking about, y'all? This is what we saying? And they still telling us to vote? You know why? Because we stand on business. We understand we're in a race war. They think they in a Republican-Democrat war. They want to stand on Democratic shield business. We ain't standing on none of that. If it ain't about foundational Black Americans, it ain't about anything. We got to hold it down. And I'm telling you right now, and I mean this, and I put this on everything I love, family, it's only going to get more serious. It's only going to get more serious because we're getting better. The more we get better, the closer we get to the reparations, guarantee you me, family, it's going to get real. It's going to get real. We're going to look back on our good brother and see that kicked off something. Yes, it did. Certified salute. Certified salute to our young brother. We got to look back on this, family. We got to look back on this, and we got to see that this is going to be something that changed the whole narrative. This has changed a lot. We've been going through it for the longest, all right? But we can't allow them to come in and try to make this about them, make this about voting. We can't have the same thing. We can't let the Black Lives Matters of the world show up and start telling us to focus on everything other than self. We can't let nobody try to tell us we're in a Republican-Democrat war. This is the race war, all right? This isn't a voting war. This is the race war. This isn't a who we gonna go vote for this weekend war. This is a race war. We got to stand on it. We can't complain. We got to go to work. And that's what I love about the Black Grassroots. We are going to work right now. We are stronger than ever right now, and we're going to continue. So certified salute to our brother. That right there is a military man. You name me anybody who's came out and defended him other than us. All those people that we just talked about last week saying, fight for Palestine. Have y'all seen one of them pop up? Y'all tell me, have you seen any of them? Where are all the allies at? Isn't it funny that the allies only show up in election season? The allies only show up when they can get something from it. Why ain't they showing up for that? Where? It's literally right now, all the college campuses across the country. You got this whole thing going on with the Palestinians. They trying to shame Black Americans, all right? You see Michael Rappaport trying to shame Black Americans. You see the Blacks and Browns coalition trying to shame Black Americans. Has any of them said anything about our brother? Has any of them came to us? No. I asked this question. If you were to go find a friend, an ally of any Black person on the planet Earth, especially Black Americans, y'all know what Dr. Hendrik Clark said. If you want to go find that, you got to go look in the mirror because it doesn't exist outside of our borders. So family, on this episode, we're going to break down this magical Karen, very mysterious. You're talking about a 911 call is placed. The police officer shows up, and when he and I got all the video. We breaking it down today. Y'all know I go all the way in. Hate crimes, something I've been literally on the front line of. I know what I'm talking about. We're going to work this thing. The police officer shows up to the office. He's greeted by a man. The man sends him over to a woman who's dressed in civilian clothes, not even as a staff member. Out of nowhere, he listens to this woman and she gives him the apartment to go in. Family, don't that sound real suspect? Don't that sound real funny style? And then this 911 call hasn't been released. And we've made attempt after attempt after attempt to find this 911 call. And every attempt has failed because they're not letting it out. We made attempt after attempt after attempt to get the ID of this Karen. Is it coming out? So 9 times out of 10, when the dominant society is hiding something, you know that they got a plot behind it. When they don't want to tell you about the 911 call, they're hiding it for a reason. When they don't want to tell you who the Karen is, it's for a reason. How many times has a black person been in their house, just relaxing, just chilling, doing their thing, and then out of nowhere, something pops up? Out of nowhere, people come over, knock on your door, and then boom, right there in your house. We can't walk down the street. It used to be driving while black. Y'all remember that one? And then it was walking while black. And now it's just living while black. But in reality, that's what it's always been. No matter where foundational black Americans are, these people pop up with all types of problems. Ain't it real sus, though? And how many people in the news are really talking about this Karen? All right? We know the same thing with Amber Geiger, right? Same exact thing. Same exact thing. Do you know Aiyana Jones in Detroit, Michigan, and Breonna Taylor both were taken out the same exact way? This brother right here, and I want to say I can't pronounce the dude's name, the Botham guy with Amber Geiger, same exact way. The same exact way. Didn't I say we're starting to overlap now? This is going on so much. Don't let the news put you in a cycle. See, what happened was when the Trayvon Martin situation occurred, they put us in a cycle. They said, let's pretend we don't know what's going on. Let's say, wait till the facts come out. Let the sheriff come out and give some lies. Let's send out Black Lives Matter with fake outrage while they taking money. Let's send out the Democratic shields while they take money. Let's spin black folks around, but there's never no answers. They want to put you on the treadmill. They want to keep you running in place. The more they do that, Ben Crump as well. Let's be real again with Ben Crump. Y'all know, go check out my episode right now. Fake civil rights leader denies foundational black American case. In Kings Day, in Columbia, South Carolina, with me and Marcel Dixon, when all that stuff went on down there, I personally contacted Benjamin Crump. And he personally wrote me back. You know what he said? He said, I can't help you. I personally contacted the non-action network with Al Sharpton. They said, hey, we're going to call you back in 2 weeks. It's been 5 months. All right. Now, did I believe that they was going to help us? Hell no. Hell no, please. I'm Black Alpha. You know I didn't believe that. Was I exposing them so I could put it on the forefront so everybody sees that they ain't about it? Benjamin Crump shows up, and guess what? When he shows up, oh, it's just about money. It's just about a check. Trust me, there ain't going to be nothing. It's funny with the O.J. Simpson thing. Let me take you to the O.J. Simpson thing, family. Isn't it funny with the O.J. Simpson case? When O.J. was found innocent in a criminal trial, they went right to a civil trial. Ain't that funny, right? Okay, so you had this court and then this court, right? It's funny with black Americans, and when it comes to Benjamin Crump, when he comes up, there's either no trial at all, and it's just a settlement check, or they have some type of criminal thing, but then there's never nothing civil. You notice it's never criminal and civil when it comes to black Americans. When it comes to black Americans, it's one. When it comes to OJ, it was civil, it was criminal, it was 2.0, civil 3.0. They took him to court again. Waited 10 years, got him again in Vegas. How many black people are tried and retried over and over and over again? How many times, right? But when it comes to black Americans, it's one and done. So he's giving them that whole thing. Right down the block where I'm from, okay, in Brunswick, Georgia. Y'all remember Ahmaud Arbery, right? And remember his daddy came out? I don't want to see nobody hurt. All lives matter. Because it's a script. It's a script. On this episode and today moving forward, especially when we go to Washington, D.C., we are ripping that script up. No longer are they going to keep us in the script, because if they do, I guarantee you, your kids will be dealing with their version of Big Crump, their version of Al Sharpton, their version of wait till the facts come out. And then it's going to happen over and over and over again. So we're going to find out who this Karen is. We're going to find out about this 911 call. I got some receipts that show you exactly what was going on. We're going to talk about this sheriff. A lot of people don't remember. Who remembers? Let me ask the chat. Who remembers that story about a year ago? You remember when an acorn fell on a car and then all of the police opened fire and almost harmed that guy? He lived. Do y'all remember that? The acorn situation? Because remember, black Americans have been harmed by holding a water bottle they thought was a weapon, holding a goddamn sandwich they thought was a weapon, holding a cell phone they thought was a weapon, holding literally a water hose they thought was a weapon, and then also the acorn. Y'all remember when the acorn fell on the car, right? Okay, when the acorn fell on the car, the police opened fire on it. Do y'all know that happened in the same county with the same police department and the same sheriff that actually just tried to, who just harmed our brother Roger Fortson, the same exact one. A lot of people don't even know that. It was the same exact one. Same exact situation, y'all. Same exact situation. So what does that tell you? It tells you it's a play. It's a play. Yep, absolutely. That's exactly where it happened. That's exactly right there. Yep. No, yeah, exactly. Real talk. That's exactly where it happened. Yep. The same sheriff. He had the same excuse. He came out and said the same thing. So now we ain't letting this story go away because I could already see, yep, the acorn fell on the car. And yes, a wallet as well. Yep, a wallet as well. Same thing. It's the same hustle, same con game, y'all, over and over and over. And they're going to keep running this. They want this story to disappear. They want this story gone. It's going to take us in the new black media. We can't do one episode about this, y'all. We can't do one episode. We can't. We got to continue to bring the facts and get more evidence. There's a thing where we do an episode and then we wait till the next time it happens. We got to follow up on the case. We got to continue to bring it to light. If not, it's going to go in the shadows and disappear. They tried to mess with the episode the other day. I said, I don't give a damn. We're going to run it back. And we'll do another one if we got. I'll do episodes all goddamn week if I got to. Until everybody knows and it's crystal clear that foundational black Americans are standing on business and we're going to get us that anti-foundational black American hate crime law. That's real activists. We're the real black grassroots. That is what we do. Let's go all the way down, family. Let's break it down. Let's show everybody, family, what's really happening out here in the streets and let the exposing of the situation commence right here, right now, fam, so we can see what's really going on. Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate. Certified salute.
Roger Fortson was killed last weekend. We know that. The Air Force says he was a senior airman deployed with the Special Operations Wing at Hurlburt Field in Florida, and he died at his off-base apartment. A local sheriff's department says a deputy was responding to a disturbance call when he encountered an armed man and shot him. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump says that Fortson was on a FaceTime call with a woman. According to Crump, she says that Fortson was alone when someone knocked on the door, but when he asked who was there was no.
Look right there, y'all. Look at these characters around. www. Who made the 911 call? Where did the call come from, y'all? Where did the call? Why don't they talk about it? Now, if something happens to us, they'll put out the 911 call that night. They'll be like, well, let's play this 911 call so we can tell everybody what happened. Come on, where's the 911 call? Why ain't they talking about it? All right. How come every single attempt to get the 911 call has failed? Look at these people sitting right around. We know what an ambush looks like when we see one. We know what an ambush looks like when we see one. There's more to this story than they're telling anybody. You really believe for 1 second that out of nowhere, this apartment was the apartment that they found and they just went into this apartment and said, we're going to go there. And there's a lot of disputes. Ben Crump says that they got the wrong apartment. But if you listen to the video, the woman gave that particular number. So it seems like there's more going on, and it shows you that they've been watching.
No response. After a much more aggressive knock a few minutes later, Fortson checked the peephole but didn't see anyone. And that's when the woman says that he became concerned. He got his gun, which he owned legally. Then deputies burst through that door, saw him with a gun, and fired. According to Crump, the woman said there was no disturbance during her call with Fortson, and she believes deputies went to the wrong apartment.
That's where it gets tricky. Now, he says that there was no disturbance. His girlfriend, who's on the phone with him, says there was no disturbance at all. So how come this neighbor that walked the police to the house, how come she heard a disturbance? So you got two different stories. One person said there was a disturbance who was talking to him, and then the other person said they heard it in the hallway. Then Ben Crump says that it was the wrong apartment. This person saying it was the right apartment. It's showing you, fam, that right up here, there's some funny style stuff going on. And at the same exact time, how can the police officer show up to a place and literally take advice from some random person? How can the Karen that they blur the video out, how can this Karen walk the police officer to an actual apartment building? He's taking advice from her. Don't we say in the system of supremacy, everybody's deputized? Yeah, you know damn well you can make a phone call to the police and you can point in the direction. They're not going to take your word for it. They're going to say, you sit right there. I'll be back. But in this situation, they walked him straight to the place. Hail to the no.
The lawyer, Ben Crump, issued a statement. In part, it says, quote, "We are calling for transparency in the investigation into Roger's death and the immediate release of body cam video to the family. His family and the public deserve to know what occurred," end quote. Now, the deputy who shot Airman Fortson has been placed on administrative leave. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement
paid administrative leave. She ain't gonna tell you that. Paid administrative leave. So basically, he's on vacation.
Fortson has been placed on administrative leave. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the local state attorney's office will investigate this shooting.
Boom. That part, y'all. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. They don't want to speak on any of that, family. They don't want to bring that up. They don't want to acknowledge that. But we got some real questions, real ones. By the way, fair use, fair use, fair use. This video is all about scholarship. This video is all about teaching every element about it. So fair use, fair use, fair use again. That part. So family, when you start looking at that little clip right there is real funny style. That's showing you something real funny. But let me show y'all this. You're only going to get this right here on the Black Alpha Network. Exclusive. Look at this right here, y'all. This is what we seen. I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this. Let me show you something that contradicts the sheriff. Let me show you something that contradicts the mysterious Karen. And let me show you something that contradicts the 911 call. An attorney for Crump's office said the law firm has located an unofficial, redacted 911 call. Whoa. An unofficial, redacted 911 call. Already it's getting funny. What Paul Mooney said, the great comedian Paul Mooney, he said, you know when something's an inside job because it's all over the goddamn place, all right? When it's direct, it's direct. Answer, finish. Anytime you start getting redacted calls, unofficial, official, who was there, we don't know, blurred picture, now you know something's funny style. Look at that right there, family. Look at that right there. And mind you, I made attempt after attempt after attempt to try to get this 911 call released. I made attempt after attempt after attempt to try to get the identification of this Karen. This is the major part of the story. What's bigger than the deputy who did the harming and then the person who walked the deputy to it? What's bigger than that, right? So I was on that and no attempts came across. But then I did see this right here. Look at this right here, family. An unofficial and redacted 911 call that has led them to believe a disturbance had been reported to the leasing office at the Elaine apartment. I know exactly about the Elaine apartment. I've done extensive research on all that. I know all about the buildings. I know the prices of the goddamn apartments. I know where it's located from. I know where the nearest restaurant is. We do everything thorough on the Black Alpha Network. From what we believe to be a fourth party. Whoa. Let me say that one more time. Run that back, family. It says the unofficial redacted 911 call that has led them to believe a disturbance had been reported to the leasing office at the Elaine apartment from what we believe to be a fourth party. Now there's a fourth party? Wait a minute. You're talking about our good brother, Roger Fortson. We're talking about the deputy. We're talking about the leasing office. So we're finding out that the 911 call didn't even come through the leasing office. The 911 call came from somebody who's mysterious. She said the attorneys representing the Fortson family believe the disturbance call was the one that brought deputies to the scene of the fatal shooting, but to continue to seek answers. Let me tell you this. Whenever you make a call to 911 or the police department, do they go to the leasing office? Do they go to the landlord's house? Or do they go to the person who made the call? I can't make a call to 911 and then they show up at the damn mortgage office, all right? I can't make a call to 911 and then they show up all the way at the goddamn leasing office, at the goddamn janitor's office. They go to where the call was made. In this situation, they're saying that the call came away from the leasing office, but yet the deputy responded to the leasing office. And then, which I'm about to show you in the video, it shows you that the people at the leasing office walked them straight over to this Karen. And the Karen in the video that I have, you see clearly she was not at all wearing no type of uniform. She wasn't working with the leasing office at all. So once again, where did it come from? Who is this person? And why did the police officer go and take orders from this person? If I call the police right now and I say, hey, I heard something down the street, the police are not going to let me walk with them and guide them. They gonna say, where? The left side of the street? How many houses down? 4? Okay, I'll be back. This police officer literally shows up, walks all the way down the street with this individual, lets the individual give a whole goddamn testimony, and then he says, what apartment building? How come the leasing office didn't give it? Now it's looking real funny style. He went to the leasing office, but the leasing office didn't actually tell him which apartment. This Karen did. One more time. An attorney for Crump's office said the law firm has located. You had to locate it. How do I know? Because I tried to locate it. And you see that they said they finally located it, and it's an official redacted 911 call that has not been released. And the disturbance had been reported at the leasing office, family. So what the hell? And they said, we believe it came from a fourth party. That's something that you're going to find right here on the Black Alpha Network. That's something that they're going to talk about, and a lot of people going to go around that. They're going to miss that point. Not here, not I. We on it. We focused on it. So out of nowhere, after that occurs, the police officer does what? The police officer ends up showing up right there. As soon as he shows up, the leasing people say, let me guide you over here. And then they walk him directly over to some mysterious Karen that pops up out of nowhere. Who is this, y'all? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell. Who is that right there? Who is that? Does that person right there look like they work for the leasing office? And if this person ain't working for the leasing office, what the hell are they there giving directions to the police officer for? Supremacy deputizes everybody. You see exactly what we're talking about. And they're protecting her. They're protecting this individual all the way across the board. They don't want none of that to get out at all. One, because this person made a false claim, and now we got to start saying, well, what's the reasoning behind this false claim? We know that this person made a false claim about our good brother, Mr. Fortson. We know that. We know that clear as day, because even Mr. Fortson's girlfriend said there was no disturbance. The man was playing the video game. I mean, how much disturbance can it be? So if that's the case, and somehow this person heard a whole different story, what does that go to tell you, family? That goes to tell you, at minimal, this person made a false claim, and then on top of the false claim, they're hiding and protecting this person's identity. We're going to go all the way through this police department. This police department, family, is completely corrupt, and we know it. It's all the system of supremacy. So not only did this person meet them right outside, this person followed them all the way out, family, and absolutely right. Why are they blurring her out? How many videos have we seen with black folks and they show the pictures? They'll show all the damn pictures when it comes to a black person. Every time it's somebody who's black, they'll show everybody. They'll show people across the street, down the street, and around the corner. Ain't none of this blurring out. Ain't none of this hiding their faces. Out of nowhere with this situation, they want to start hiding faces. This person is pivotal to all of this information. This is the person we assume made the call. Now, mind you, they're not even saying if this was the person who made the call or not. Let's go there. They're not really saying, is this the person who made the call? They keeping that real mum, real quiet, y'all. They're not really saying that. No. See, what we're doing, we're putting the pieces together and saying that's got to be the person who made the phone call. We don't know if that's the person who made the phone call. The person who made the phone call could be somebody completely different. And both of those puts all of the stain on that community, on that situation, because if that ain't the person who made the phone call, then why he sitting there listening to everything this person says? How come this person has some type of right to speak on it? Not the real deal. So let's go to the video. We got the video right here. Let's go to the video and let's show you that this individual not only was guided to from the leasing office, this actual person gives nothing but details. It was like, go here, go up, go down, and right there you're going to see it. He literally relies on this individual. He allows this individual to speak, and then right afterwards, family, boom, the situation occurred, and then now we all know what happened next to our good brother. So by the time we even get to that, by the time we even break that part down, we're going to show you that they walked this person all the way there. Let me pull this up right here for the fam. Check this out right here, y'all. This goes to show you type of time we're dealing with. Yes, this is the Carolyn Bryant situation. That's exactly what this is. This is exactly what it is. Watch this, family. Watch the way when the police officer shows up, the police officer first goes to the leasing office. He goes to the main building. Fair use, fair use. Howdy, sir. Listen to that. Howdy, sir. So these people were waiting on him. Notice how. Oh, we go there. Oh, you ain't gonna do nothing. We hear everything. Notice how as soon as the police pulls up, that person opened the door for him. So they were waiting and expecting him. So don't let nobody try to hit you with the, we don't know why they came and we weren't sure that it was the police. Nah, you know exactly what it was, because look, soon as he pulls up, they open the door for him. So they waiting. This man said, howdy, sir. Howdy. So they was waiting right there. Open the door for him. Come on, police officer.
What's going on? I'm not sure.
What's going on? I'm not sure.
I just was told to let her know if you guys come by. So I'm going to give her a quick call.
Freeze. Right there. Right there. Watch what he says. I was told to let her know if you guys come by. Let her know. Not him. Not them. Her. So this person opens the door, waiting for the police officer, tells the police officer, I was there waiting, and she told me to let you know. And then it gets real.
You guys come by, so I'm going to give her a quick call. So there's a fight going on or something?
He said, I'm going to give her a quick call. Notice too, family, with the video, I'm telling you, even in the release documents, they're hiding that out. That is not my screen, y'all. They're hiding that out. They're not allowing all of the words to be shown. That's not what it is. I listened to it time and time again. They don't want all the words shown. But he says, I'll give her a call real quick.
So there was a fight going on or something? I was not ready for that.
Was there a fight going on? I wasn't present for that. Now he walks out to go find this mysterious Karen.
Yes. Are they fighting or something?
And here she goes. Look, they blurred her all the way out. Look how blurred out she is, family. Look how blurred out. Come on. Is there a fight or something? He asked her. Who is she? Who is she? Does she work for them? And if she works for them, how come she's not there right now? How come she ain't in the building right now? And she don't look like somebody who's working. Does she work for them? Come on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Here we go. She was saying that it happens frequently. Now she is referring to another she. Listen to what we talking about, family. Now this person is referring to another person. So they say fourth party, it looked like 6 or 7. The guy who opened the door said, howdy, sir. He said, she told me to let you guys know if this person shows up, when the cops show up. Then this guy goes and finds this lady. Now this lady is saying, she told me. And he's talking about another woman. So now you got 2 Karens. 2. One that they're hiding from the whole camera, who's blurred up. And then another one that the one who's blurred up is referring to. This is real investigative journalism. Now watch what she says. She says she was saying that it happens frequently.
It happens frequently? Okay. But this okay, what's your? I'm not sure. 2 weeks ago,
2 weeks ago, I was walking by their apartment basically on this side. So this person is saying, I heard it too. I also heard the same exact thing. It's the same exact one. Nah, funny style. Funny style, y'all. Nah. We ain't buying that. Not 1 second. Not at all. Nah. We ain't buying that. Never, not at all, y'all. Never, not at all. Real funny.
By the basically on this side, and I was hearing someone go like,
and notice, family, he never asked her who she is. He didn't say, who are you? What's your relation to the story? Where do you work for? He don't say none of that. He goes and starts talking to her like she's a goddamn deputy, like she works for them boys. How come a police officer shows up on the scene and the first thing he does, he gets sent over to this woman and he just starts talking to her, taking her word for everything. Never ask her who she is. He didn't even ask her what her name was. He didn't say, hey, what's your name, Becky? He didn't say none of that. He skipped over everything and automatically start taking her testimony, her advice, and allows her to make him go to the apartment. Come on. And look at her saying, like, you stupid B word and all that other stuff. I heard a slap. Listen to this, fam. Listen to all of this. So they're saying that they heard it last week. They're saying they heard it that week. They say they heard it that day. All of these mysterious things. Look how she's getting it real intensified as she's sitting there talking to the deputy. And he's sitting there never challenging none of this. He just said, oh, yep, cool. Yep, cool. Gotcha. Right. But we still don't know who she is. She is the second woman involved because the other guy was referring to another one. Game is crazy. Cold game.
Like right after, I wasn't sure where it came from. And I didn't want to leave someone.
Whoa, watch what she said right there. She said she was hearing it, but she didn't know where it was coming from. Wait a minute now. Look, like right after, but I wasn't sure where it came from. Just a minute ago, she was saying, I heard a slap. I heard the B word. I was on this side. I heard it again. Now, all of a sudden, she's saying, I don't know where it came from. If you call the police right now and said, I think I heard something, I'm not sure, and I wasn't sure where it came from, the police gonna say, what the hell you called me for then? But no, when it comes to Karen and Ken and these mysterious she's, these mysterious 911 calls, out of nowhere, they say, yeah, you right. Okay, cool. He never questioned her. He didn't ask her one question. Only thing he did is received answers from her over and over again. Checkmate.
Because I wasn't sure where it came from. And I didn't want to leave someone.
Which room is it?
1401.
1401. 1401. That is the room that she says. It's right there. So Benjamin Crump says that it was the wrong apartment. The sheriff said that it was the right apartment. And this video right here shows you that it's clear she said 1401. The only question that the deputy asked her was, what's the apartment? Not what's your name, not where you work for, not where you come from, where you're from. Are you sure you heard what you said you heard? Who the hell are you? He didn't ask none of that. The only thing he asked her was, what apartment?
Well, the girl sounded scared, the one that called. She was like, stay.
The girl sounded scared, the one who called. You see how she's trying to make it look like it was coming from inside the apartment? She's trying to make it seem like it's inside the apartment. The deputy could have squashed that with one simple question. The phone call that came, was it from someone in the apartment or was it from a neighbor outside the apartment? They're leading you to believe that this all came from inside the apartment. And it never came from inside the apartment because the only female that was associated with inside the apartment was his girlfriend on FaceTime. Let's be real. The one that called, listen to this right here. She said she was like, it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, it sounds like it's getting really out of hand.
So it's in number 4 now.
So just hit number 4, huh? Yep, okay.
All right. We sat there and directed the deputy.
Now watch what he tells her. Oh, I've been waiting to tell y'all this one. He said, will you sit out there and direct the other deputy that's coming through the area? He told her to direct the other deputy. So when the next deputy gets here, I want you to tell that next deputy where I'm at. This woman is being deputized. What do we always say, y'all? What do we always say? We say that in the system of supremacy, they deputize all W's. It don't matter. You could be 11 years old. They're going to go ahead and put a badge on you. You could be 100 years old. They're going to put a badge on you. Look how right there, family, he tells her, you go ahead and tell the next deputy that comes. So he never asked her who she was. He never found out if she was credible. He never asked no questions at all. But he gives her the right to not only show her have her show him where the apartment is. And then he says, when the next deputy gets here, you tell them where I'm at. Come on, y'all. Come on, right there. That right there. That is literally what we say. When all of us, everybody in the Black Grassroots, foundational Black Americans, all of y'all, when we sit here and we say that these people deputize everybody by their W-ness, that right there is proof in the pudding. You see it. So he allows her to go ahead and give him her testimony. Then he allows her to direct him to the apartment. And then he tells her, and he allowed her to tell the next deputy where to find me. Come on. I'm just saying, that looked real funny in the goddamn light. And then he's on his way on up the stairs to go on the elevator to go find our good brother.
It's not, you're going to go to the floor.
Right there. She's still talking. It's like you're going to go up the 4th floor.
It's gonna be on the side.
Gotcha.
And it's going to be on the side. Gotcha. He said, okay, gotcha now. Cool, I got you. Thank you. Boom. The elevator shuts. He's on his way right on up to our good brother. As this is all going on, our good brother has no idea that all of this is happening. Our good brother has no idea what's about to occur. Our good brother is minding his own business. The same way that Breonna Taylor was sleeping. The same way Atiana Jefferson was playing video games with her nephew. The same way Ayanna Jones had to get up and go to school in the morning because she was a baby. This is the same exact thing, y'all. This is what we're talking about. Now, we've been popping off right now for 45 minutes. Have you seen anybody in the mainstream media even halfway break it down the way we just did in 45 minutes? No, because it's the same way they didn't break down what really went on with Trayvon or Mike Brown or Sandra Bland or Corinne Gaines. It's the same exact thing meant to stall us and keep us on that treadmill of going nowhere fast. That's what they really want. They want us to go nowhere fast, but that's okay because we're going to keep pushing right the hell along, y'all, right the hell along. So let me switch from that video. Now I'm going to bring it all the way to this video right here. And I want you guys to see this one. This right here is going to really, really show y'all the way things played out on another level. Look at this one right here, family. I got all the evidence and everything that you need to see that's going to show you without a shadow of a doubt what's really going on, what really went on, and the way the game is played. So, family, this is what we're talking about. But before I move on to the video, so what do we have right now? We have a mysterious 911 call by the receipts that I just presented here on this episode, Black Ops exclusive, that it was a redacted, unofficial 911 call. What the hell does that mean? What the hell does a redacted, unofficial 911 call? What were you calling from, a walkie-talkie? Okay, what the hell were you calling? What is an unofficial 911 call? I've never heard that in my life, an unofficial 911 call. I never heard of a redacted 911 call, and I never heard of an unofficial redacted 911 call in the same goddamn sentence. So we have an unofficial redacted 911 call that they said is a fourth party involved. We have the deputy showing up to the leasing office. The guy opens the door, was waiting on him. This guy says, she told me to call her when you got here. And then the deputy leaves the leasing office, and then he mysteriously finds some blurred out woman. The blurred out woman says, she told me, and she starts referring to another person. So you have W number 1, W number 2, W number 3, W number 4, and a mysterious W number 5 out of nowhere. All of this while good brother was sitting there playing his video games, talking to his girlfriend, right? This is what we uncover in the whole situation. We're not done. Check this out right here. This continues to show you now we're in race soldier land. Now what you're going to see is the way it played out. Now you're going to see the way that the actual assassination occurred, because that's exactly what it was. We're not going for this. We're not playing these games. Let me hold on, before I go there. We're not playing these games, y'all. We're not doing the Trayvon Martin game. We're not doing the Mike Brown game. They're not going to keep us stalled on a treadmill with the same bullshit for the next 20 years. We're not playing that game. Excuse my language. We're not playing them games because we've seen the way that turns out. It's never good for us. So you feel me? When these other communities come in, they don't get put on this. They just straight to the top, get whatever they want. And you got these black folks who come around and don't do nothing. I just seen Holland Martin today talking about this situation, and then he started talking that we got a hate crime law already. We do not have a hate crime. Everyone knows that, all right? The NAACP ain't said nothing. The Urban League ain't said nothing. We got to get rid of all of these people, and we got to start instituting and inserting real certified foundational Black Americans who stand on lineage, business 24/7. Anything other than that is not going to work, y'all. Anything other than that. So let's go right here, family. We on here. Check this out. Now we're going to get to the way it all played out. So you got 4, 5, 6 mysterious ass people that they not showing who is who. And now you got this.
Releasing body camera footage showing the moment a deputy shot a Hurlburt Field airman. 23-year-old Roger Fortson died last Friday after he was shot inside his apartment. Deputies were responding, they say, to a complaint about a disturbance of some sort inside.
To show whether the deputy was justified or not. It starts with the deputy responding to the Elin apartment.
Right there. Right there. That's when he responded to the apartments. He's responding to the apartments, and the apartment sends him to the Karen.
Wrong. He then meets a woman in the parking lot who describes a disturbance that says, and she said it had gotten out of hand. The deputy gets on the elevator and goes to the floor.
He met a woman. Who are these names? When it comes to black folks, man, they met Marquise, they met Jerome, they met Michael, they met Marcus, they met Shaquita, they met Tawana. They say every goddamn name when it comes to us. But when it comes to these people, notice how they're purposely being very vague. Met a woman, met a person, met a guy, met him, met them, met they. But they don't tell you if they're all of these just people with no names, then how come all these no-name people have so much of an influence over this harming of our brother?
Floor, and we're going to let you watch and listen to what happens as the deputy approaches Fortson's apartment. We want to warn you, this is disturbing, and if you don't want to see or hear it, now is your chance to look away.
Boom, knocks on the door, steps out the way. Oh, we're going there. Now let's get to it. We just showed you every single thing that led up to the situation. Now let's show you the actual situation. Knock, knock on the door, steps the hell away from the door. Why are you stepping away from the door? Why are you stepping away from the door? You are a police officer. You don't step away from the door. That right there cancels everything. That cancels everything. Knock, 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 stepped away from the door. He came there for some smoke. And notice, when he got up there, he didn't listen to hear if he was hearing what the lady was saying. He took her word for it. He doesn't actually sit there and say, am I hearing anything? Any disturbance? He's not even seeing if there was a disturbance. He's not there to find out if there was a disturbance. He came there to harm somebody. Because let's be real, he already knows that the person in that apartment is a black person. You don't have Karen 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You don't have Mr. Howdy, sir, Ken left, Ken right, and not know that was a black person. They've got it all under wraps. They know that was a black person. So he knocks on the door. He steps away from the door immediately. Does not listen. Does not hear anything, steps right away.
The deputy approaches Fortson's apartment. We want to warn you, this is disturbing, and if you don't want to see or hear it, now is your chance to look away.
Steps away. Which decides. Still stepping away. Who's there? Who's there? This ain't like when kids hit your doorbell and take off running. Somebody knocks on your door, and then they're not in the peephole. They're not even to be seen. There's no possible way you know who's at that door. The person knocked on the door and stepped away. What you do that for? What you do that for? You ain't listening to no disturbance because there wasn't any. There's no disturbance. We don't hear no disturbance in the audio. Trust me, if there was something going on in that apartment, we would hear it. It would be picked up by the body cam. What do you hear? Not a goddamn thing. He knocks on the door, steps immediately to the left. He knocks on the door, steps immediately to the right. This man is playing games. This is what he's doing. You're waiting. You hear birds. Listen, all you hear, you literally hear birds chirping. He still ain't said sheriff. He ain't said police department. He ain't said deputy. He ain't said the authorities. You hear more birds chirping than the goddamn police officer. We're waiting. What's he waiting on? What's he waiting on? And if you listen, you can hear our good brother, Mr. Fortson. You hear him say police, and he said it like he didn't know. He said, "Who the hell is this?" And by the way, notice when he knocked, he didn't knock like real soft. He knocked like like a goddamn police knock. Knocked on the door hard as hell. And then he steps away. We're still waiting. We're still waiting. It's almost 20 seconds. It's really about 30 seconds since the first knock. It's 20 seconds after he moved from the left to the right. You still don't hear anything. So now on the inside, our brother's thinking, who's at my door? He's playing the video game. Y'all know if you're playing the video game, you listening to music, you watching a movie, you relaxing. Someone pounds on your door. The first thing, everybody's antennas go up like, who's that at my door? And then when you get to the door, ain't nobody there. You're like, hold up. This is the same country that we deal with on a day-to-day basis where all types of home invasions. They get on TV and talk about home invasions, crime, all the weapons, all these things that come up. So when someone's knocking on your door, the first thing you're going to think of is, who is it? If somebody does not identify themselves, immediately your antenna's going to go up and you're going to think it's the situation. Not to mention, this is a military community. In a military community, all of these people are on point. On point. So boom. We're waiting. Right there. Listen carefully, y'all. You can hear our good brother. He says police, and he's talking to his girlfriend. Right there. It's right there, inaudible. It says police. Right there. he's asking, he's like, hold on. He's asking kind of his girlfriend kind of just and just like, I don't know, is it the police? So he's suspecting it may be the police, but he don't know. He don't know what's going on. So he's waiting. He's waiting. He's waiting. He's waiting. Still waiting. That's the side again. Look at that. He knocks again. He knocked on the door 3 times and stepped to the side every single time he did it. Come on. There you go. He stepped to the other side. He's been on the left side twice. He's been on the right side twice. Not once has he been in the middle to show himself.
Sheriff's office, open the door.
Boom. I'm not even going to play the rest of that right there. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Right there. Then he goes into Rambo mode, which we done seen how many times? He went into Rambo mode. Our brother opens the door with his weapon retrieved, but pointing down to the ground. Pointing down, not up. He didn't raise it. He didn't point it, any of that. He's a professional. He's a military. He's an airman. He knows how to handle it and conduct it. He's simply in self-defense mode in his own goddamn house. Look at our brother right here. They want to talk about the weapon, right? They want to talk about the weapon he had pointing down. Look at his hand. Look at his hand, y'all. His hand is up like stop. How can he get his hand up to say stop, but the police can't put his arms down with his weapon pointed? Look at that right there. Look at that. That's what nobody's talking about. Nobody's talking about it, but we're going to talk about it on the Black Ops Network. Look how our brother has his hand up. He literally has his hand up saying stop. How can he get his hand up that quick, but you can't put your arms down that quick unless you were already up and out ready to go? And by the way, the police officer only got to that position as if when he was playing all that door knocking and jumping from side to side, he had already pulled up his weapon. He pulled his strap up. He was already ready to do this. This wasn't no games. This wasn't something that just happened. This didn't happen quick. The only thing that happened quick was him harming our brother. But him actually being ready to do so, boom, got his hand up. He's got his hand up, y'all. Look at that right there. You ain't seen the NAACP talk about this. You ain't seen the Democrats talk about this. You ain't seen Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris. You ain't seen MSNBC. You ain't seen ABC, CNN. Ain't nobody talking about that except for us. This is what we talking about, fam. That is what we're talking about. And then he elops. Listen right there. Now, after he done busted all them shots, now he's saying, drop the weapon, drop the weapon, drop the weapon. You hear our brother say, it's over there. It's funny how you see the weapon as soon as you open the door, but you can't see the weapon over there after you already harmed our brother. Or now all of a sudden, you can't see the weapon no more. The weapon all of a sudden now is disappearing. So you got X-ray vision when you kicking the door in ready to blast, but now all of a sudden you blind when our brother's saying the weapon's over there. You've already harmed him. He's on the ground. He cannot breathe, and the weapon is nowhere near him. How does the guy on the ground got to tell the police officer the weapon's over there? But now all of a sudden he can't see it. A minute ago, he seen it in a matter of 1.2 seconds. Now he can't find it. So our brother who just got harmed has to tell him, I don't even have the gun. And listen to him in full Rambo mode. Full Rambo.
Drop it up! Drop it up! Drop it up! 312, shots fired. Suspect down.
Boom. That part. This is what we speaking of, y'all. This is what we talking about. This is what we talking about. Hand up. Saying, whoa, 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 whoa. What you talking about? Hold up. Hold up. So the police officer, he sees the weapon pointing down. He sees the hand up saying, hold up, wait a minute now. But then he just started going. You seen that they clicked. And this is what it's about. It's all about these people going into this Rambo mode. They just jump into it real quick. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. With Tamir Rice, wasn't that the same situation? Wasn't it the same situation? In Tamir Rice's situation, it was not even 1 second. They pulled up, they started hitting on our young brother. Straight up. As soon as they got out the car, boom, they got on our brother. That's what happened with the Tamir Rice situation. This is what happens. Now, when you start dealing with people from all these other communities, the main thing you see is that they just fall back. They fall back. How many videos y'all done seen with a W police officer and literally you got folks chasing after them with weapons, y'all, and they don't ever go crazy. They always fall back then. But when it comes to us, out of nowhere, immediate. Because I'm going to tell you what it really is. Let's just cut the games. Let's just get straight to the point. What it really is, y'all, is they see a black person and they automatically kick in the savagery. That's what it is. It ain't got nothing to do with toy guns, none of that. It has everything to do with when you see somebody who is black, you go full Rambo mode, you go into combat mode, because since you were a little kid, you've been raised to think that we are these evil people who are your enemies, all right? That's what it's really about. It ain't got nothing to do with body cams. It ain't got nothing to do with training. It ain't got nothing to do with help, and can't we all get along, and all lives matter. Hell no. It got everything to do with you see a black person and you go into savage mode. That's why we get 0.2 seconds, but yet you can see a W with a goddamn hammer or a shovel telling the authorities what they're going to do, and they'll be walking back. How many times y'all seen that? How many times y'all seen a video where you'll have somebody literally going after a police officer and the cop will be walking backwards saying, whoa, put it down, Ken. Put down the meth pipe and the hammer, all right? Put down the meth pipe and the shovel. Let's talk about this now. But when it comes to a black person, it's boom, 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 over. It don't matter. It don't matter if you're an airman. It don't matter if you're a grown man. It don't matter if you're 12 years old like Tamir Rice. It don't matter. When they see black, it clicks in, and then they go savage. That's what happens. And don't let nobody tell you different. And y'all remember, and as I talk about the treadmill, I talk about them trying to get us in the same place. Y'all remember when it was all about training. We didn't need to train it. We can train the supremacy out of them. Y'all remember that excuse, right? Y'all remember when it was body cams? Y'all remember that one, right? Y'all remember? Oh, we got to get the body cams. That's what we got to do. Once upon a time in the United States of America, there were race soldiers harming us every day on the news. It was Trayvon Martin. It was Jordan Davis. It was Sandra Bland. It was Alta Sterling. And then you had all of these black folks who came out and said, I got a great idea. How about we get body cams? Because you know, if we get a body cam, they'll quit making excuses. So we got to go get us a body cam. And then you seen body cam, still happened. They still made excuses. Then you seen another body cam, still happened. They kept making excuses. They kept going forward, even with the body cams, nothing ever stopped. Because they keep trying to put these things in front of us to stop us. They keep trying to put these things in front of us to make us believe that there's some type of answer. There's some type of situation. We can get out of everything if we just do this. Y'all remember a time where let's just talk about it. Let's just have a conversation. We was going to conversate our way out the race soldiers. We was going to body cam our way out the police soldiers. We was going to defund the police out the race soldiers. Every single time it was something new. And all of us in the Black Grassroots, because we're always right, all of us in the Black Grassroots, we're always the only ones who stand on business. We was all saying, hell no. Hell no. It's about the system of supremacy. That's what it's all about. It's about black people being targeted by race soldiers. Nobody wants to hear that. So you start seeing it all. You started seeing everybody pop up. Then they start trying to do the George Floyd Act. Then they start trying to do the Breonna Taylor Act. They literally were named the Emmett Till. Emmett Till? You mean to tell me in 2020 plus, you're getting a bill about Emmett Till that went on, what was Emmett Till? What was that, in the 50s, y'all? Is it the early 60s or the 50s with Emmett Till? So you're literally meaning they went in the time machine and said, I got an idea. How about an anti-lynching act? And we'll use a black person who was harmed way back in the 1950s. Really? This is what we on. This is why I say, family, they want to stop you. If they cannot stop you, they'll try to stall you. And when they can't do neither one of them, they'll try to sabotage you. This is what we're talking about. Family, it gets deeper. That police department, they never talked about the deputy. We ain't heard about the she number one, Karen, the she number two, Karen, the guy who said, howdy, sir. You ain't seen none of them. So what happened? 1955, that was Emmett Till. So we literally just got Emmett Till's name on a law in 2020 something, which, by the way, didn't really even pass. So it's just a law that didn't even pass. Hell, they didn't even give us a law from 1955 that did pass. They gave us one that didn't pass. Breonna Taylor got a statue, all right? No one asked for that. Emmett Till got a statue. No one asked for that. Then they're trying to now give us 1955 and George Floyd. None of that has went anywhere. And we're still out here talking about body cams. Really? This is where we are with it. This is what they're trying to do. Okay, cool. We're to the point now where that police department didn't say anything. The police department let it all slide. The news ain't talking. I'm telling y'all, they're going to always try to take this story and make it disappear. I'm telling you, I'm going to make an episode about this story every time new developments come out. I will not let this go away. We're not playing the game. One thing I can't stand is to sit back and see people just go in a cycle. Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all, and I know y'all know this, but I want to put up the first answer right here. What is the definition of insanity? I'm not even going to say it. I know y'all know what it is. What's the definition of insanity? The definition of insanity is doing what and expecting what? That's where they try to keep us in. They try to keep us in the insanity period, the insanity stage. They want to have us doing the same thing. They want to have us going in the same direction, and they want to keep us focused on nothing. We're in a perpetual state of going nowhere because of this. This is what they try to do, y'all. They try to keep us there. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. We're sitting here and we're playing this game. Do you know that Trayvon Martin, his birthday just passed, do you know Trayvon Martin is the same age now that George Zimmerman was when he harmed him? You know that? Do you know that Tamir Rice would be basically about to go to college? Do you know that? We're sitting there seeing people grow old. Latasha Harlins would be a grandma by now. Where we going with this? We're going to sit here and keep playing these games? We're going to keep playing these games over and over and over? Come on. What we talking about? Absolutely. That's exactly. Expected different results, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a circle jerk. Yeah, brother, you're right. That's all it is. And it's on us to change the game. It's on us to change the game. If we don't change the game, ain't nothing going to happen. You feel me? Y'all know straight up. When it go down, it go down. When it's real, it's real. If we don't stand on business at the same exact time, nobody going to do nothing. Nobody going to do nothing. Not for us. No. It's going to be foundational Black Americans who got to put in that work, because it's always been foundational Black Americans who put in that work from day to day to day. Let me show y'all something. This is how adamant I am about this. A lot of y'all remember this, and I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all this right here. A lot of y'all are adamant about this. Y'all know what I'm saying.
3 Black Americans were slaughtered.
Watch this right here. This was me. All right. This was me in August. This was me and August family in Jacksonville, Florida, right here at a hate crime. Not talking about it, not 2 weeks later, not 4 weeks later. This was me the night that it happened. I'll never forget it. It was a hot summer night in the deep, deep, deep South, and I'm literally on the scene with 3 souls were diminished based on the supremacists. And I was the only Black activist there reporting. There's never been a Black activist that has literally been on the scene of the crime, a hate crime, the same hate crimes we watch on television. I was the only Black activist to ever be there when it happened, and it changed my whole life, y'all.
Peace and respect, family. This is Black Alpha. We are broadcasting live from Jacksonville, Florida.
Look at my eyes, family. That's real. That's real. That ain't fake. That ain't no Twitter space. That's real.
Right on Kings Road, where it has been confirmed that 3 Black Americans were slaughtered once again. Same story. I'm out here right now in front of it with the people, and we are really genuinely here. As you can tell, they got everything blocked off, but we are definitely going to bring all the real facts and all the real truth to the situation. What we do know is that this was another anti-Black shooting. Don't let anybody spin it with the people of color. Don't let anybody spin it with the minorities. This was about Black people. Therefore, we need an anti-Black hate crime bill. You hear me, Joe Biden. You hear me, all the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, every last one of you. This is what we need, because it's about us.
Notice, fam, I didn't say vote blue no matter who. I didn't say go red. I'm not playing no games with these political parties. I'm not playing no games with politics when our lives are on the line. I called them both out. And this was 2 years prior to an election. This is what it is. This is why we need a foundational Black American hate crime bill. I was the only Black activist on the scene reporting. And I remember telling everybody, I said, I will not leave this scene until I can bring the story back to my people. If I can't bring it back to y'all, then I was going to stay there all goddamn night. I had time. And that was very, 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 very important. All right. So I'm on that scene, and the tape and everything you see was real. The police you see is real. And they had them things on them. The same police officers that harmed our good brother was there. Them alphabet boys was there. I was standing there right in front of everybody reporting. I pulled out the camera. I said, now is the time to demand a hate crime. I demanded a hate crime bill on the scene of a hate crime in real time. Not 3 weeks later, not a month later, in real damn time. And we're still going through it. This happened then. Fast forward to our good brother Roger Fortson happening now.
We are right here, the Black Alpha Network. We're going to continue to be here with the people. I'm hearing a whole lot of stories coming in and out, but we're going to get to the real facts and the real truth. Everybody is out here right now, and we're all breaking it down, and people are really holding each other together. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to be about it, and I'm going to stay tapped in with the family, man. So y'all stay good, and we are on alert 24/7, 365.
Right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. That's it. I swear to God, y'all, that changed my life. I swear to God, that changed my life. That situation right there was as real as it get. I did a lot of things. Okay, I've been to reparations task force. I've seen the vice president. I've seen it all. That right there was the realest thing. I was cool. I was calm. I was collected. I was somebody who wanted to bring the truth to the people. And that right there clicked off. That clicked off. That was the realest thing that's ever happened. That changed my political career. That's probably the main reasons why I'm going to be in D.C. That amongst some other work, but nothing is the same as that. I remember the night. I remember how it was. I remember the people. I remember all of y'all hitting me up saying, hey, Brother Alpha, what's good? Stay safe. We watching over you. We praying for you. We blessing you. You need money for gas? Let me know. I remember the camaraderie from all my certifieds. Every one of y'all, I remember all of that. That changed my life forever. I remember, you could see it was hot. I'm talking about the deep south. I'm talking about you literally see the vans bringing people out. You literally seen everything. This is what I'm talking about. This is a real anti-black race war. It's one thing to see it on television. It's another thing to see it with your own too. You believe what you see. And that right there was in real case in point, family. So yeah, I told everybody right there in that video that I was going to demand a hate crime law for us. I did it right there. But then I told everybody as well, I promise y'all, I'm taking that same energy, and it's only right. It's only right that I do in honor of the brothers and sisters who were harmed, in honor of these brothers and sisters right here on all of my background. It's only right that I go there to D.C. So I'm going to go from Jacksonville in August, advocating for a hate crime bill on the scene of a hate crime, to Washington, D.C., and I'm going to be advocating for a hate crime. And it don't stop. It does not stop. I told everybody this, fam. I said, when it comes to foundational Black Americans, when it comes to us putting in work, when it comes to us standing on business and really being out there amongst the people, we are all we got. We are all we got, and we're going to continue to be all we got. That's just the way it is. That's the card that's dealt. Fine. We're going to move forward with it. But I want y'all to see what we're up against and who we're up against in the process. This is what we're talking about. Let's go there. Y'all know, as we sit here and we talk about us getting a hate crime law, let's talk about somebody who did get a hate crime law. And let's talk about somebody who passed this law. Y'all remember the blue alert law? Since we can't get one, since I got to go to hate crime scenes and I got to do all that, y'all remember who actually helped these people get a law? Let's talk about the blue alert law. Who's this man right here? Who's this man right here? He's the one who signed the blue alert law. Look who's back here smiling. He's the one who sat there
several weeks ago,
cheered it along. Look at all these other people. I believe these folks got them some laws. So you got a whole gang of people who got some laws for themselves, and we don't get nothing. Remember this, y'all? This was Barack Obama writing this. This is in the middle of all of that, because remember, more Black people were harmed under Obama than anybody. So remember this.
we lost two of New York's finest, Rafael Ramos and Wenjin Liu. They were serving their community with great honor and dedication and courage. And all of New York grieved and all of the nation grieved. It was a reminder of the incredibly difficult and dangerous work that so many of our law enforcement officers are engaged in every single day. I had a chance to meet the families of Officers Ramos and Liu at the memorial that we did just a few days ago. But it's important for us not only to honor their memory, it's also important for us to make sure that we do everything we can to help ensure the safety of our police officers.
Do everything to help ensure their safety. Okay.
Officers when they're in the line of duty. And this legislation, which has been sponsored on a bipartisan basis.
This legislation has been sponsored on a bipartisan basis. Bipartisan. Remember, when it comes to every other group, the Republicans and Democrats get along real good. They shake hands, they hug, they dap, and let everything go on past. When it comes to us, then all of a sudden it's, y'all can't get it because the Republicans won't let us. The Democrats won't let us. Then it turns into this little tug of war. Listen to what he said. A bipartisan effort.
And this legislation, which has been sponsored on a bipartisan basis by people like Senators Cardin and Representatives Reichert and Pascal, represent, I think, the best of a bipartisan support for law enforcement. What this legislation is going to do is to initiate a blue alert system so that when we know there's an active threat against law enforcement, that the alerts are going out at a comprehensive, expeditious way.
Wait a minute. He said, whenever there's a threat, the alerts go out very fast, very quick, and it gets to where it's got to go. That's what I just heard. That's what I just heard. Now, ain't it funny? When it comes to foundational Black Americans, they tell us, y'all can't get nothing specific. You can't get anything specific because that is bad. That's against the law to get something specific. That looks very specific to me.
That prevents the possibility that other officers may be caught by surprise, and it ensures that appropriate steps can be taken as quickly as possible.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Done. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Boom. Boom. But foundational Black Americans, we can't get nothing. Foundational Black Americans, we got to wait. We got to play the waiting game, right? That's what we got to do, right? Okay, check this out. That was in. Let's go right here to Mr. Magoo. Let's check this out. This is what Joe Biden feels about it all.
Supply DNA. His AR-15 just rips the body apart. Could not a 20-year-old kid can walk in and buy one? DNA to say that's my baby. What the hell's the matter with us?
What you mean us? Who you mean when you say us? Look at right there. I want y'all to focus. He's out there talking about all of these weapons, all of these supremacists. He's talking about all these different things. But notice he's trying to play the us game. Ain't no us. Ain't no us, family. No, it's all about the dominant society. That is what we deal with. He's talking about somebody that can get all that weaponry. Family, again, where I was at in Jacksonville, all that us talk that he's saying right there, I seen it. All those high-duty weapons that he was speaking about, that's the reason why those people were harmed, because of one of those. And I was there and I seen that. So what does that show you? It shows you he's trying to make it look like it's a us thing. Look at this guy right here, who I question if he's even FBA or not, but we're going to leave that one alone. He's sitting there supporting Joe Biden talking about us when we're the ones who are affected by that. And if it wasn't bad enough that Joe Biden said that, and you seen what Barack Obama did, okay, if that ain't bad enough, family, y'all remember this right here? Y'all remember this right here? Okay, let's check it out.
It's not to defund the police. It's to fund the police. Fund them.
One more time.
We should all agree the answer is not to defund the police. It's to fund the police. Fund them. Fund them. Fund.
Family, that ain't a bunch of Democrats standing up clapping. It's a bunch of Democrats and Republicans. Look at them all cheering right along, family. Look at them cheering all right along. Right there, defund the police. So at the same exact time that you had the Democratic shields coming out here trying to tell foundational Black Americans what we needed to do was vote blue no matter who, Joe Biden was saying he's going to give the police even more money. He's going to give them everything. One more time, this is Mr. Joe Biden, the president that they said was going to fix everything. Remember, Joe Biden, he hijacked the Breonna Taylor protest, turned it into Vote for Joe. He hijacked the Ahmaud Arbery. He hijacked the Rashard Brooks. He hijacked the George Floyd. He ran on, we're going to bring police to justice. The man got on there and said, man, forget all that stuff the Democrats are talking. Get the police more money. And then just a second ago, he was talking about the criminals who harm us and saying, hey, it's all of us together now. No, it's not all of us together. It's foundational Black Americans versus everybody.
We should all agree the answer is not to defund the police. It's to fund the police. Fund them. Fund them. Fund them with resources and training.
There goes the training talk. We're going to give them training. We're going to train them out of all this, y'all.
Resources and training they need to protect our communities. I asked Democrats and Republicans.
Look at that. Democrats and Republicans, they all get along. Okay, that's one thing. Let's flip to the other side, right? Let's go to the other side. Everybody running around here talking about we're going to go vote for Donald Trump, right? We're going to go vote for Trump. Cool. Okay, I got it. But let me tell you how Donald Trump feels about the police. And this is why we don't see red and blue, all right? We only see black, and then we see the dominant society. Look at this right here. Tell me if this is any better, y'all. This is Donald Trump.
And clean up, renovate, and we're going to rebuild our cities. We're going to bring them back like they used to be. We're going to make them safe places again. We're going to give our police their power back, and we're going to give them immunity from prosecution. So they're not prosecuted for doing their job. We'll take over.
Whoa, hold on.
Immunity from prosecution. And we're going to give them immunity from prosecution. And we're going to give them immunity from prosecution. So they're not prosecuted for doing their job. We'll take over the horribly run capital of our country, Washington, D.C., and clean up, renovate, and rebuild our capital city so that it's no longer a nightmare of murder and crime.
Who do you think he's talking about right there? So you got this side who says fund the police. Then you got this side who says we're going to give them immunity. Where does foundational Black Americans get any answer for the hate crimes or for what happened to our good brother, Roger Fortson? Where's our answer in all of that? When you got these folks running around here standing on the hill, vote blue, these folks standing on the hill, we going red. I don't see none of that when it comes to foundational Black Americans getting true representation. You don't see a goddamn thing. Our brother right here, that wasn't about the Democrats or the Republicans. What happened to our good brother right there was about supremacy. That wasn't about giving them immunity. Because I'm going to tell you right now, in Trump's America, the police already got immunity on that whole situation. On that whole situation. And guess what? That happened in Biden's America. So we see exactly what goes on in both of those Americas. So isn't it really the best thing to see supremacy opposed to seeing just that? That's what I'm talking about. This is where we are. This is why we got to function on a completely different level. You got this side, you got this side, but the only thing that matters is right here, what's in the inside of us. Everything else don't mean a damn thing. Look at this right here, family. So when we speak about that, let's bring it on back. Y'all remember this situation right here? We spoke about it earlier. Marquise Jackson files lawsuit. Florida police shot at him 22 times after mistaking a fallen acorn for gunfire. Family, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. A damn acorn, family. Family. Let's go there. A damn acorn. That's where we're at right now. These people literally are out here trying to tell us that a damn acorn is what made them bust off 22. This is what we're saying. And there won't be no justice. The dominant society going to come out and they're going to be like, well, you know, acorns are loud now. We really can't get mad until all the facts come out. It could have been an acorn. We don't know yet. This is what we saying. This is what we seen. This is what goes on. This is how they play the game. And they're going to continue to play the game. Because we, as foundational Black Americans, we are going to have to be out here standing on our own business. And if that wasn't bad, family, that's bad already, right? We know that's bad. Y'all remember this situation right here. This ain't no better. Y'all remember this right here? Here we go. Black man harmed by police while carrying a sandwich. A sandwich. This would never go on anywhere else. Anywhere else. Mr. Goodson was harmed inside of his house while he was holding a sandwich. Inside of his house again. Look what we talking about, family. We talking about inside of your home. They said you got a sandwich. Yeah, because people eat inside of their house. We can't even eat inside of our house without this right here, family. The brother was eating a damn sandwich in his house. And they came in like gang busters. And what they do, family, they harm that brother right there in his own home. Right there in his own home while he was eating a damn sandwich, y'all. This is what we talking about. How you going to train that? How you going to train? Or is the training an excuse for your anti-Black racism? Yeah. And how about all that defund the police? That is also an excuse for your anti-Black racism. This is why we need an anti-Black American hate crime bill. This is why. Because of that right there. That right there, family. We talking about a sandwich. We talking about an acorn. They got to the point, y'all, where they just making stuff up about us. They not even trying. And you know why they're so bold? Because let me tell you this. They wouldn't be bold like that with no other community. Yeah, by the way, that story, how many times you seen that story? How many times have you seen that story? And then on top of seeing that story, when was the last time you saw it? When was the last time you seen that story? You ain't seen that story in how long? Because they get it completely out the paint. They get it completely out the paint. They don't want to talk about it. That's why I say we got to consistently go back to this. We can't turn into the how many more times, y'all? How many times? No, we got to get aggressive, all right? We got to get aggressive. You got black folks out there saying, we don't need an anti-black hate crime bill. We can't. Who's going to enforce it? We're going to enforce it. Our good brother Tariq always speaks about that. We will be the ones who enforce it. The same way we will be the ones who get our reparations. It's all about us. Every answer when it comes to us goes back to our goddamn selves. We'll be the ones who enforce it. We'll be the ones who get it. We got to get it on the books, and therefore we can support it. Therefore we can enforce it all in one. But sitting there throwing your arms up like this saying, they already got laws, man. We can't do nothing. Then you need to sit the hell down. That's what you need to do, because that is what it is. So you got an acorn, all right? You got a sandwich, and these are all foundational Black Americans. And this one right here, y'all remember this? Let me show y'all this. It's not done just with our good brother. Our good brother is just in a cycle of all of these things. Who remembers our good sister, Atiana Jefferson? Y'all remember our good sister? Atiana Jefferson was playing video games with her nephew. This story is so much like Roger Fortson. She was playing video games. Roger Fortson was playing video games. Roger Fortson was talking to his girlfriend. She was with her nephew. Out of nowhere, while you're minding your own business in your own house, not harming anybody, a race soldier shows up. When this race soldier gets there, they don't identify nothing. They're being Rambos all the way across the house. As soon as they seen our good sister, they harmed her. The saddest part about that breaks my heart is that she passed thinking that that was probably a criminal. And she thought that her nephew wasn't going to be safe. Imagine being there to protect somebody you love, and the race soldier harms you so quick that your last thought is probably, oh, damn, now my loved one is on their own and I can't protect them. I can't be there for them because now I'm gone. Her final thought was probably something of the lines of her nephew's by himself. Nobody said nothing. We went on as a society. We just kept it pushing. This is what we're talking about. This is the body cam. Look at the body cam. That right there is the body cam. At nighttime, the race soldier shows up. He's got all his stuff out. He's walking around, snooping around. She does the same exact thing that our good brother did. Went to go protect yourself. As soon as this guy's damn near worse because he sees her through a window. He didn't come there to serve and protect. He came there to harm her. That's what he did.
First, can you imagine the guilt that neighbor?
And this all started because a neighbor made a phone call as a wellness check. He seen her door open and he sent the police over there to help her. Now he has to live with, for the rest of his life, a situation where he was trying to help our sister and then the race soldier showed up. This is why brothers and sisters do things on their own. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Neighbor feels for calling police to Jefferson's home. He saw an open door and did what we're supposed to do when we think something's not right.
But when the officers arrived, things went so very wrong. Here's Rebecca Lopez.
And they go, open the gate.
James Smith never thought a simple call to police to check on his neighbor would lead to this.
Put your hands up, show me your hands. I'm devastated because people say, well, James, it's not your fault. You're not your fault.
Look at the anguish on that man's face, y'all. Look at the anguish. You can't make this up. This ain't no play. This ain't no vote blue no matter who. This ain't no go vote for your favorite Democrat. This ain't no NAACP. That man got to live with that forever. And then we move on to the next one.
But I made the call. I made the call because I thought that they were going to do what I called them to do. Check on my neighbor. And they didn't do that.
He says he was sitting on his porch around 2 a.m. Saturday when he saw his neighbor's doors open, which is unusual. Initially, he says he crossed the street and got to the driveway.
And I noticed all the lights were on. It was bright. And I didn't hear anything, didn't see anything. And because I don't have any weapon, I don't know who's in there, if anybody's in there. And I thought best to go call the police.
So he called and waited for a squad car and planned to talk to officers when they got there. But he says it happened so quickly. And when it was over, his 28-year-old neighbor, Tatiana Jefferson, was dead.
This is the most tragic thing in my life. Most tragic thing in my life.
Come on, y'all. This is what we talking about. This is what we talking about. And they want to tell us, go vote. Go vote blue. You're going to be fine if you just go vote for Joe Biden. You're going to be fine if you just go vote for Donald Trump. This is what we're saying. And be honest with you, as a society, it's the worst thing because society just moves on. We the only ones who have to carry this with us forever. We the only ones who got to deal with this for the rest of our lives. Everybody else just moves on immediately. It's over. As soon as the case happens, it's done. They move on to the next one. We got to get over this thing of just staying right there on one thing. We got to get over this thing where we just say, okay, who's next? Well, if who's next comes in and ain't nobody doing nothing about it, then who's next is going to be everybody until it's you. That's what it is. As I said, we've hashtagged and hashtagged and hashtagged the same people over and over. How this person hashtags this person, and then it happens to him. And then it happens to the next person who hashtagged that person. We're going to stay here forever. And guess what? Oh, the dominant society is cool with that. Oh, they cool. Oh, yeah. The dominant society will play that game with us forever. The dominant society will play that game with us to the end of time. They don't mind us staying here going through the same thing. All that how many more times and all that, they love that. The dominant society loves that. Yeah, that's what they love. Why do they love that, family? The dominant society loves that because that just means keep going. Keep going. We can do this forever. Next thing you know, we all grown. Next thing you know, we all old. Next thing you know, we all gone. And it's still happening again. Still happening. It got to get to the point where it stops. Forget how many more times. How about stop it? That's really the type of time that I'm on. That's what we're trying to push. That's what we promote. So when we speak about that, you see the way they act whenever they encounter us. We see the way they act whenever they see us. This is what we were talking about our good brother with the acorn. Look at this right here, y'all. Tell me this right here is not one of the worst excuses you've ever heard in your life, but it doesn't stop because they keep doing it.
The county sheriff's deputy shot at him is filing a lawsuit. Sheriff's investigators determined it was the sound of a falling acorn, not gunfire, that caused the deputy to open fire. As News 13's Kimber Collins tells us, Jackson and his legal team say they're seeking justice and reform.
On November 12th last year, Okaloosa County Sheriff deputies arrested Marquise Jackson during a domestic dispute with his girlfriend. Deputy Jesse Hernandez handcuffed Jackson and put him in the back of the patrol car. Thinking her partner Hernandez was in trouble, Sergeant Beth Roberts also opened fire. Officials say it turns out what Hernandez heard was not gunfire, but an acorn hitting the car. The two deputies fired a total of 22 shots. Fortunately, Jackson was not hurt and was never charged with a crime, but now he's decided to file a lawsuit against the sheriff's office.
There was a chance that I could have died from each bullet that was shot at me. On November 12th, my life changed forever. I haven't been the same since. Will I ever have peace of mind again? Imagine being shot at a tremendous amount of times while handcuffed in the backseat of a cop car by the ones who call to protect our community.
Even more frightening is the aspect of using a human for target practice. That is unwarranted, it is unconstitutional. And we are going to be filing a claim for damages, soon to be followed by a lawsuit, because of what happened to Marquise.
Lacey is a civil rights attorney. He claims deputies fired 32 shots at Jackson, including additional rounds deputies fired to clear the windows before approaching the car.
We are not approaching until we get those windows out.
Then they began shooting again. I found a way to rest my hands on the shattered window area to prove I haven't done anything wrong.
Lacey claims they would like to see justice in the form of better training and screening for law enforcement officers.
Right there. Better training and screening. There we go again. Better training and better screening. The same exact thing. But family, this is the same exact place with Roger Fortson.
If you are so scared that when an acorn falls on the hood of a car, you start doing tumbles and rolls in the street and think that you've been hit, maybe you are unfit to wear the badge.
Deputy Hernandez did resign after the November 12th incident. Sergeant Beth Roberts was exonerated.
Sheriff Aiden on February 9th said the department plans to use the incident as a training example for the future.
Listen what they said. The sheriff said that they plan to use this as a training session. Family, that is the same exact sheriff with Roger Fortson. Family, this is all Fort Walton Beach, Florida. This is what I'm saying. This is what we're speaking about. This is why we say they keep running the same game. It's happening in the same place over and over again. That story literally happened a few years ago in the same exact county with the same exact sheriff, the same exact one. So what you mean we're going to have it again? What you mean we're going to do some training? Training for what? How much of that training worked, family? The very fact that occurred and then the Roger Fortson situation happened right after that. How about that? Nobody's saying anything about that now, are they? No, they're not, because it's all one big setup. So when we see that everything's going on in the same light and they playing it all together, look at how that played out. This is the same place. This is Fort Walton County, or Fort Walton Beach, Florida. This is, I think it's Okaloosa County. It's the same thing. That same sheriff right there who gave that whole thing. Oh, this is the same sheriff just the other day. Oh, this is the same thing. Oh, we got receipts on the sheriff. Now let's go there. Let's start talking about some of these names and dates. Let's start talking about some of these faces.
Good afternoon.
That right there is Sheriff Eric Aiden. He's the same one who was protecting the guy who shot at, or the people who tried to harm our brother Marquise Jackson. And it's the same one right there who just gave this press conference the other day. These are the same place, that same police department. They sit here and they ran training. They used the training excuse to get out of trying to harm somebody because of a damn acorn. Now they're trying to use the same training excuse with our good brother Roger Fortson. Watch this right here. This is the press conference from the other day. Watch, family, how he's trying to make the same excuses. Watch how he flips everything and projects it back onto our good brother. Watch.
I'm Eric Aiden. I'm the sheriff of Okaloosa County with the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office. A few moments ago, I personally met with Mrs. Fortson and the Fortson family, extended my deepest condolences to them. And this result is one we never hoped to encounter. And I'm also thinking about our team here and the deputy involved in the tragic event. I'm here this afternoon to further.
You're thinking about the deputy? Did he just put the deputy and the victim in the same place? Did he just put the deputy in the same victimhood as our good brother?
Assure Ms. Fortson's family, our dedicated team and community we serve, and the broader public that we are doing what we can to ensure the facts of this case are fully understood. To that end, I've asked the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to handle the criminal investigation that is required under these circumstances. It is important to note that while this is a criminal investigation, no determination has been made as to whether the deputy's actions were justified or not. Here in Okaloosa County, we pride ourselves in our commitment to transparency and accountability. These investigations take time, but I want to assure you that we are not hiding, covering up, or taking action that would result in a rush to judgment of Mr. Fortson or our deputy. While it might be difficult to see, there are many questions the investigation must answer before we can determine whether the officer's actions were justified. Again, we are committed to the transparency and look forward to FDLE and the state attorney's report. We are aware of a press release and other comments that falsely state our deputy entered the wrong apartment and imply that they burst through the door.
Stop. That part right there. That part right there. He says that it was the right apartment. Ben Crump has been saying that it was the wrong apartment. He's saying that it was the right apartment. So if that was the right apartment, then that woman gave that testimony to the sheriff or to the deputy that we seen. So that goes to show you that she purposely gave him the wrong advice. So he's saying that the apartment was correct. He's saying, nope, it wasn't no problem. Nope, there was no wrong apartment. This was the absolute right apartment that we wanted to go in. Well, that goes to show you right there in that department, our brother was minding his own business and he did nothing wrong. And then why are you taking the testimony of Karen number 5 that we still don't know? If you tell us that it was the right apartment, how come you ain't telling us the person who guided your deputy to the apartment? And then how that person was acknowledging another person that no one's talking about. You know you done messed up, right? You know you done messed up, right? He done slipped. He done slipped. So we automatically got it all out the game that it wasn't the wrong apartment. It wasn't. What he's saying is it was the right apartment. And it was the right apartment. You know why? Because the black man was in this apartment. They went to the apartment where the black man was at. That's what they were doing. So yeah, okay, it's the right apartment. So that means that Karen set this up. That means that Karen is guilty. That means that there's 3 or 4 assailants all involved in this situation. And don't forget, y'all, the deputy also told that Karen to go tell the other deputies when they got there where he was at. So we have it clear, evidentiary facts that they found the right apartment. They just made up the reason why. But we all know the reason. It starts with a B, an L, an A, a C, and a K.
To Mr. Fortson's residence. Those statements are inaccurate, as shown on the video that we're about to see. What we do know at this time is that the deputy did announce himself, not once, but twice. Mr. Fortson's comments indicate that he did acknowledge it was law enforcement at the door.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He's lying. He's lying. No. He did not announce himself after he knocked on the door and hit himself 2 different times. We already showed that. We showed it. This man literally is lying to our face, y'all. This man is literally lying to our face. He's sitting here trying to tell us that, well, we already know that that's what it was, and the guy told us that he seen it. No. Roger Fortson never said that he knew that it was the deputy. He was saying, is it the cops? He was speaking to his girlfriend. This guy's trying to frame it like Roger knew who was at that door. Roger did not know who was at that door. You see, you got to understand that if he makes it sound like Roger knew who was at the door, then he's going to make it look like when Roger picked up the weapon, he did it to go after the police. Roger Fortson did not know who was knocking on his door. The deputy did not ever acknowledge that he was a police officer until he knocked on the door 3 times and moved from right to left 4 different times. Try again. We got receipts. You're dealing with the grassroots, whole different breed.
And he arrived at the door with a firearm in his hand. The deputy knocked on the correct door. He did not cover the peephole or otherwise obscure its view in any way. Again,
You may not have covered the peephole, which we can't really tell because, by the way, his hand was up. You may not have covered the peephole, but you moved out the way of the door. That's actually even worse. You knocked on the door, and we showed everybody. He went from left to right, from left to right. And then he acknowledged who he was. And even when he said sheriff, he moved out. When he said deputy, he moved out the way again for the 4th time. Nice try.
Don't share this information to pass judgment. We simply want to assure the community of what is known at this time for the safety and for the safety of our deputies and for the community. I told Mr. Fortson's family this afternoon that they have my word. If this shooting is found to be unjustified, their son's name will be fully vindicated and justice will be served.
Vindicated? Whoa. Vindicated? It will be fully vindicated. This is what we talk about in the system of supremacy. There ain't nothing to vindicate about Roger Fortson. You're talking about an airman who served in Kuwait. We're talking about a model citizen. We're talking about a guy who's a part of a special ops unit. This is what we talk about when it comes to foundational Black Americans, serving in every war, not being respected. Why did the civil rights era start? Y'all? The civil rights era started when Black folks came home from World War II and seen that the way they was getting treated. They just liberated all of these other people. By the way, other groups that today have all types of smoke for us now, that we helped liberate them way back then. We came home, and it didn't matter if you were serving in the military, you're treated like this. Roger Fortson is more decorated, more respected, and went to a higher degree of his profession than this guy ever has. This is some sheriff guy who came around the ranks, and he's obviously operating and functioning in the criminal department. And he's sitting there saying, if we find out now, your son will be vindicated. Notice how they're criminalizing him. Didn't they criminalize Trayvon Martin? He beat up George Zimmerman. Didn't they criminalize Tamir Rice? He used to pick on people with a toy gun. Mike Brown, he jumped in the way of Darren Wilson. You see how they're doing it, but notice he's doing it real sneaky, fam. He's being very sly with it. He's saying, well, if it all comes back now, your son's name will be vindicated. From what crime? There was no crime committed. The only crime committed or thing that you could even make a crime was the police officer. There's no crime that was at all being done by a good brother. So notice the words. Always, you got to learn how to train your eyes. You got to train your eyes. You got to have a trained ear. The way he's speaking about being vindicated, who gets vindicated? Who gets their names exonerated? Criminals do. So by de facto, he just said Roger Fortson, the victim, is the criminal. And then he said the deputy, who's the criminal, is the victim. Welcome to W Supremacy 101. This is exactly the way they play the game and way they operate.
Now, before we play this video, all of us understand what we're about to see. And for those of you that are live streaming and don't want to watch this event because it's tragic, then I suggest you just look away for about 4.5 minutes. That's about how long it's going to take once we roll the video. Those of you that are live streaming, it's going to be on here. And after this, we will share a link to the video. But out of respect for you, whoever doesn't want to see it again, it will take about 4.5 minutes. You will see the things that I just mentioned on the video that corroborate what I've just said.
No.
Go ahead.
No. Nothing about that video at all is what he just said. As a matter of fact, I gave a better breakdown of the video than he did. He didn't mention none of the people in the video. He didn't mention why they was blurring out people, why he took the testimony of some random off the street Karen who's just walking up the street. No, he didn't say any of that. Don't let that man sit there and try to talk about, well, you know, what happened was, and I did this. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You lying. You lying. But here's the thing. I went in, found out a little more about this Eric Aiden. Let's talk about this Eric Aiden, all right? Eric Aiden, this guy is, first off, his department had not only the case with Marquise Jackson, then they turn around and they have this case right here. This department has a plethora of skeptical anti-Black race soldier cases on foundational Black Americans. The Fort Walton Beach, yes, they have. They say, this man, as a father of 4 daughters, I know apprehension of a young man wanting to date a sheriff's daughter or even go out on a date. This man, this is what he's talking about. Aiden was born and raised in Northwest Florida. His father was an aerospace engineer and pilot at Elon Air Force Base. We're still lifelong friends with the sheriff's daughters. This man's father was an airman just like our good brother. No camaraderie, no respect, no by means, shape, or form anything talking about our good brother. No one's mentioning his service. You notice that they not mentioning his service at all, right? Y'all notice they not talking about our brother being in the military, right? You notice how they skipping over that part. But when you look right now at this guy, he's trying to speak about the military. He's trying to speak about how he was a military son and he grew up in a military family, but yet you weren't one. And you're not talking about anything that went on with our brother being in the military himself. What we see is that he is somebody who clearly has no respect for a Black person in the United States military. You see that he's somebody who clearly is anti-Black American because his whole department is filled with nothing but complaints against anybody and everybody who's Black they come down on. So this goes to show you exactly what we talk about when we say the anti-Black racism is real all in the department. This is what we're saying. And when you start speaking about the military, you start speaking about our brother serving, you talking about an airman. Let me tell you something, all right? I've been around the military my whole life. When you start talking about an airman and you start talking about somebody who served in Kuwait and somebody who was top thing, our brother was decorated. They don't want that. This is what they try to hide, y'all. They don't really ever want it to be out there that our brother was doing. And notice they hush around that. But yet they trying to play up this guy, this sheriff, as some type of military man. He's not a military man. This is a sheriff who heads a department that is absolutely racist. Absolutely. So don't let nobody come and tell you anything of the sort. And when I say they scrub things off the internet, fam, check this out. I mean, they really scrub things off the internet. Let me show you guys a picture. That right there is the person who harmed Breonna Taylor. That right there is how he's living his life. You will not find that picture anywhere on the internet. That picture has been scrubbed off the internet, nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be found. This is what they're trying to do with this story right here. They're trying to take this story and they're trying to make it disappear fast. I literally took that screenshot of that, family, a long time ago on my old phone. Had to go all the way back to my old phone to find it because guess what? It ain't there on the internet no more. That man is out there living his best life after he harmed our good sister. That man is out there doing whatever he wants to do after he harmed our good sister. It is out there now, family, and this is why foundational Black Americans understand where we're at. This is why foundational Black Americans understand where we're going, and this is why foundational Black Americans understand what we have to do. And I want to ask you guys this question. Have you seen any military people come out? Have you seen any military veterans come out and defend our good brother? You got the sheriff guy right there. You got the sheriff guy right there. And the sheriff is out there acting like he's the military guy. That's why I showed you that. The sheriff is acting like he is in the military. Nobody's talking about our brother and the credentials that our brother has. Not at all. Nobody's speaking about him. Have you heard anything about our good brother being in the military other than they just say he's an airman? Family, he was a very decorated airman. The man was a part of a special ops unit. This is why a lot of brothers and sisters are saying, where? Tell me where, family. Tell me where foundational Black Americans get any love. Have y'all seen anybody come out and say, that's my fellow veteran? I'm going to tell you why. Family, look at this. Lock in, family. I got something good for y'all. Check this out right here. The military has a hate group problem, but it doesn't know how bad it's gotten. Y'all want to go there? Let's go there. Y'all want to talk that talk? Let's talk that talk. Let's do what we do. You know how every year you always hear a story about how the supremacist groups have infiltrated law enforcement, right? That's what you see all across this country. No one ever talks about the supremacist groups infiltrating the military. No one ever talks about the anti-black racism in the military. You want to know why no one's come out and defended our good brother for being a veteran of the military? You want to know why? It's because even inside of the military, there's anti-black racism. Look at this story right here, y'all. And I want y'all to see the way they frame it. I want you to see the way they highlight it. The military has a hate group problem, but doesn't know how bad it's gotten. The rise of extremism in the ranks is seen as a crisis issue, but the military efforts to weed out radicals have been hazardous at best. Check this out. The Pentagon is confronting a resurgence of W supremacy and other right-wing ideologies in the ranks and is scrambling to track how acute the problem has been. And they say in the Trump era. Notice they try to put that off for Trump. We don't acknowledge that. What we do, we say it's both sides. That's what we're saying, y'all, as we proceed. It's an issue that has simmered in the military for years, but it is now front and center following signs that the former military personnel played a role in some of the attacks at the U.S. Capitol. Yes, indeed. Tackling the influence of hate groups, propaganda, and anti-government sentiment in the officer corps and enlisted ranks must be an immediate task. They try to say Biden, no. There is a real crisis, the rise of extremism and supremacy in the ranks. That has been fueled by Trump, unfortunately, so it has been dealt the right way and unequivocally on the top list. The overall problem, the right-wing extremism, has dodged the military for decades. It's funny how they were saying Trump, 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 right? But out of nowhere, they say it's been going on for decades. You got to be very cautious, y'all, because like we say, they don't mind dumping it all on Trump. If they can dump it on a Republican, good. They don't mind that. But right there, they say it's been going on for years. Anybody who's been around the military, seen the military, knows about the military, you know about all of the anti-black racism that goes on in the military. You know for a fact that black soldiers are court-martialed at a 60% more rate than the W's. You know for a fact that black soldiers don't get the proper care. You know for a fact that black people in the United States military, they were on the front lines of Vietnam more than every other person. So basically, they were using black folks as a human shield during the whole war in Vietnam. This is what was happening to black people in the war. So the reason why you're not seeing anybody come out and stand on any type of business, ain't no veterans coming out, ain't nobody saying that's my brother. You're not seeing nobody from the Air Force or anywhere come out and stand on business for our family. Why is that, y'all? Because of this right here. That goes to show you that when you start talking about the military, you run over here, you run into anti-blackness. Then you run over to Fort Walton Beach, and they're out here trying to praise Eric Aiden, the sheriff, like he's some type of military man. No, this is what you're seeing. But let's go on back. As we were talking about that, family, let's go back to show you this is why it's always been a serious problem facing us in the United States of America. Look at this right here. This goes to show you again and again and again why foundational Black Americans have been dealing with a lot of this. Let me run that wrong one. Right here, you're going to see, family, as I pull this up for you, what you're going to see is that foundational Black Americans have been dealing with this type of animosity, this type of hatred, and no matter where these brothers and sisters run to, you keep running into this time and time again. It does not matter. It doesn't change. This shows you why foundational Black Americans need our anti-foundational Black American hate crime law passed now. Look at this right here, family. I want y'all to see this. This shows you right there Why foundational Black Americans need an anti-Black hate crime law. Look at the statistics that you see on your screen. Anti-Black American, these are hate crimes. These are from, I want to say, they're always about a year or two behind. So this was 21 to 22, might have been 22 to 23. Attacks against Black Americans is 3,424. And mind you, they're always undercounted, y'all. They're always undercounted. They never give us the real count of what actual hate crimes affect us. But look at who they put in there with us. They put anti-Skittles bag men. What does that got to do with racial hate crimes? They put in every other community. And you can tally up every other community, family, and it still does not equal out to what we deal with. Think about that. Think about that, y'all. They literally can take every other group, put them all together, add up their numbers, and their numbers are not even where ours are at. That goes to show you that foundational Black Americans are the ones being harmed the most. Don't let nobody tell you that we actually have a hate crime bill on the books. We ain't got none on the books. Don't let I see Roland Martin trying to say that today. Roland Martin was literally trying to tell that lie today, saying that we got one on the books. No, we don't. Okay. The reason why they don't want to acknowledge that, because then you have to call out his Democratic Party, and they don't want to call out the Democratic Party. That's all good in the hood. This right here gives you a better description, and it shows you again. Look at these hate crime statistics, family. These are all against foundational Black Americans. Look at that. You ever want to see which ones affect us the most? Go all the way up to the top. Go to the highest, and then you can already tell who affects what. These are the statistics. These are their statistics, and you can always guarantee you it's about 100 times more than what they say it is. It's about 100 times more than what they speak. Foundational Black Americans, we are the ones who face this more than anybody. And it will not stop as long as they keep us on this treadmill. As long as they got us going back and forth and back, playing these games. He did it. No, we're going to go ahead and change this law. We're going to change that law. No, we're not. No, we're not, family. What we're going to do is we're going to get our own on the books. Once we get our own on the books, then you can start doing some talking. You're not going to change anything, family, out here playing these games left and right. Because I guarantee you, they're going to run on that same thing again, and then we're going to be stuck in the same place again, a place that we have to get out of. Family, we all talk about immigration. We all talk about them bringing everybody into this country. You cannot sustain the immigration and those statistics I showed you. You got a double-edged sword. You got them people harming us at that rate, and then you got what you see right there with people coming into this country. It is more important than ever that we stand on business. I'm always telling people this era is very important because we're not out here trying to get civil rights. We're not trying to reconstruct the country. We're trying to stay here. We're trying to be present because they got all these things coming at us from every which way. So we got to stay strong and hold on. Look at this right here, y'all. This is what we're talking about. Y'all remember this story? This is Aiyana Jones, 7-year-old, Sleeping Beauty, fatally harmed by Detroit police. Do you guys know? This was in 2010. Do you guys know that this happened literally almost to the month, 10 years before Breonna Taylor? 10 years before Breonna Taylor. I told you, these things are overlapping, y'all. They're overlapping. We're getting confused. Sometimes these stories add up and don't nobody even know which one is which. Why is that? Why does that keep happening? That right there is the same exact thing. And know what they said, y'all? They was like, oh, I'll tell you what we can do. What we can do is that we can actually stop and we can stop having these no-knock. Remember all the no-knock stuff? You remember that, right? The no-knock search warrants that they was trying to hit us with? Yeah, okay. How that work? How did all the no-knock search warrants work for us? It ain't did nothing. It ain't did a damn thing. That young sister was harmed almost 10 years to the day, y'all. Yeah, she would have been about 21 years old. This was when Barack Obama got elected. When I just showed that video of Barack Obama signing that blue law, when I showed that, family, that right there is showing you right then and there what type of time he was on. This shows you the type of time that he was on. So while he was sitting there signing that law for everybody else, while he was out there signing that law for every other goddamn community to get benefits and resources, by the way, benefits and resources they say we can't have, then you see this was going on with our sister. Who speaks about her anymore? Who talks about this sister anymore, y'all? Or has it just went away? It just went away. We got to get over this. This is before the Benjamin Crump start popping up. We didn't even know who he was in 2010. Who speaks about this sister anymore, this young lady? Who speaks about her? And the Breonna Taylor situation was almost the same exact thing. Nothing is passed for Breonna Taylor. The fake laws that they try to give us, that they try to pacify us with, they don't pass. Fam, we don't get real laws, and then we don't get pacifier laws that they try to present to us. We get nothing. Nothing at all comes to foundational Black Americans because the Black grassroots has to be in control. It's got to be us. It's got to be us, y'all. Y'all remember when they were running around talking about the George Floyd Act? Y'all remember that, right? Let's go there. You got the Breonna Taylor Act, and they were trying to put that out there. Then they was talking about the George Floyd and statues and all these other things. Let's talk about the George Floyd Act. Remember the Justice for Policing Act? This was a bunch of nothing burgers. Nothing at all. Let me show you guys this. Let me show you this right here. Certified salute. Rest in peace to our young queen. Let me show you guys this right here. Let's talk about this Justice in Policing Act, okay? Let's go there because nobody really was breaking this down. Nobody was really breaking it down. We just seen it. The Justice in Policing Act. This is what they try to give us, okay? This is what they said was going to stop another George Floyd. This is what they said was going to stop a whole nother Breonna Taylor. This is what they said, y'all. So let's talk about it. The Justice in Policing Act. While there is no single policy prescription that will erase the decades of systematic racism and excessive policing, the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act is bold. It's transformative. Proposal to create structural change with meaningful reforms. Remember, they said that we was going to body cam our way out of this. They said that we was going to train our way out of this. They said that we was going to have a conversation out of this. Let's look at this law that, by the way, never passed. I told you, the real ones don't pass, the fake ones don't pass. Mind you, Joe Biden ran on this. This is what Joe Biden ran on, and Joe Biden told all of us, y'all, that we were going to vote for him, and if we got rid of Trump, this is what happened. The George Floyd Justice in Policing Act is a bold, Check this out. It says, change the culture of law enforcement, empower our communities, and build trust between law enforcement and our communities by addressing systematic racism and biasness to help save lives. This legislation makes it easier for the federal government to successfully prosecute police misconduct cases in racial and religious profiling. When have you ever seen the police do religious profiling? If y'all don't get out of here with that, it already's turning into all lives matter. They are already all lives matter in that from the get-go. This is what we talking about. This is what Roland Martin and all of them was running around here telling us that we needed to vote for. This is one of the accomplishments that they were saying how Joe Biden has done so much good work. This is what they was trying to pass off on us, y'all. They said the legislation bans the use of chokeholds and no-knock warrants, which took the lives of George Floyd. It's funny because they say no-knock warrants, right? Y'all remember that was the thing with no-knock warrants? Well, we just seen the police officer with our brother Roger Fortson. He knocked. He just moved out the way of the door. So they got us for 4 years. Oh, we could stop it with the no-knock search warrants. Oh, the no-knock search warrants are so bad. We can get around that. And the supremacist said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll knock. I'll just move to the left, and then I'll move to the right. Don't let nobody try to tell you it's any of this. We know what it is. And notice how they put George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Eric Gardner in there. They know how to put black names and black faces on something, but not serve black people. At the federal level, it encourages states to do the same. The package will finally allow meaningful accountability in cases of police brutality. This is what they tried. Now, this is it. Let's get to the real. Work to end racial and religious profiling. This is what this law was supposed to do. This is when they took George Floyd's name and they put it on the bill. It prohibits federal and state and local law enforcement from racial, religious, and discriminatory profiling. I thought they weren't supposed to discriminatory profile anyway. What does that mean? They said it prohibits federal, state, and local enforcement from racial, religious, and discriminatory profiling. You ain't supposed to discriminatory profile as a police officer anyway. So that's nothing. Mandates training on racial, religious, they keep throwing that in there, and discriminatory profiling for all law enforcement. So there goes the training again. They're going to train them way out of it. How about this? If somebody gets to that high and they still need to be trained on how to deal with black folks, they shouldn't be a police officer. Next one, requires law enforcement to collect data on all investigative activities. What? Hold on. They dropped me off at the damn Winn-Dixie. I don't even know what they're talking about. It requires the law enforcement to collect data on all investigations and activities. Family. Now, if you steal a pack of bubble gum, I bet they're going to go ahead and got all the data on you. They're going to know what school you went to, the test grades that you had, your mama's middle name, your daddy's name, everybody. So once again, that's another one. Let's go to the next one. This is the next one right here. Check this one out. They thought they was really going to get this off on Foundational Black Americans. This one says, save lives by banning chokeholds and no-knock search warrants. Bans chokeholds and holds at a federal level. Whoa. Let's get it again. Notice the language, y'all. It bans chokeholds at a federal level. So basically, at the state level, they can still choke your ass, is what they're telling you. Basically, let's read the line. This is what they wrote. I ain't write this. Y'all ain't write this. Black folks ain't write this. This is what they wrote. This is the law that all the Democrats told us we need to go for. It says ban chokeholds at the federal level. How do you ban a damn chokehold at a federal level? I thought chokeholds went to all levels. What's a federal chokehold? All right, what is this, wrestling? What's a federal chokehold? What is a condition law chokehold? Now all of a sudden, they got all these different names for the chokeholds, right? It says ban chokeholds at a federal level and conditions law enforcement funding for state and local governments banning chokeholds. So they're telling you on the state level, it'll just condition you and they'll reward you if you don't do it, okay? On the federal level, it bans you, all right? Let's get this, family. If they don't come back with something other than this is what they were trying to get us on board with. This is what they were trying to get us to go for. They put them on a federal level. Y'all remember the whole thing with Joe Biden and marijuana? They were saying, well, Joe Biden, he's decriminalizing marijuana on a federal level. Who the hell gets arrested for marijuana at a federal level? That is literally like 0.1%. It's the state level where they was kicking down doors and getting people for joints. It's the state level they were sending people to prison for 25 years for having a $20 bag of weed. It wasn't the federal level. I've never met anybody who's ever got in trouble for having weed on the federal level. That just doesn't happen. You know why? Because black folks is going down the street, they getting a goddamn bag of green, they rolling up a blunt, and they smoking it with their friends, all right? And not bothering no goddamn body, all right? Nowadays, you might go to the dispensary, you're coming home and you're smoking, and you're watching the goddamn football game. Ain't nobody out here talking about weed on no damn federal level. The same way ain't no chokeholds on a federal level. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They real slick, boy. They real slick. You got to know how to play them because they know how to flip words and everything. So they're talking about chokeholds on a federal level, and they'll just condition you not to do it on a state level. So basically, 99.9% of black folks can still get a chokehold placed on them unless it happens to you by one of the alphabet organizations, all right, which black folks encounter only so often. Your day-to-day sheriffs, your day-to-day deputies, your day-to-day law enforcement, those are going to be the ones that you got to deal with. So they better try again. We ain't falling for that. Never have, never will. Bans no-knock warrants in drug cases at the federal level again. And conditions law enforcement funding for state and local governments banning no-knock warrants at the local and state level. They literally, family, copy and pasted that. They literally copy and pasted. It's the same thing. The no-knock search warrants and the ban on chokeholds, they literally copy and pasted. Bam. This right here and this right here is copy and paste. Translation, we're banning it on a federal level, but on a local level, you can still do it. They're green lighting all of the state police to do whatever the hell they please to you. That's what they're trying to tell you, fam. Ain't nobody falling for that one. And be very cautious. They also said bans no-knock warrants in drug cases. Not any other cases. In any other cases, they saying, oh, we can still do it for that case, and that case. Only with drug ones is it a difference. So if they make up some type of false claim about you being a gangbanger, or they have mistaken identity, or they say you stole something, or they say someone looks just like you who ran into this apartment building, that's all good. It's only the drug ones they're saying is the problem. Another play on words. So that right there is another one of their con games, but the black grassroots is on them. I know they mad. I know they mad because they went years being able to say whatever, do whatever, and black folks are nod their head up and down, north and south. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. That was African American. The FBA, Foundation of Black American Freedmen, we say hail to the no. Nice try, you better try again, Jethro. This one requires the deadly force to be used only as last resort and requires officers to employ de-escalation techniques first. That is literally what they've been supposed to do from day one. You're always supposed to de-escalate. That ain't nothing new. They're taking things that is literally their charter already, and then they're selling it back to us like it's new. You see what they're doing right there, y'all. You see, they think they slick. They think they slick. What they're trying to do, y'all, they're trying to say, let's take everything that we already have been supposed to do by law, let's polish it up and give it back to black folks. They're taking an old law, dusting it off, and trying to sell us like it's new. You're already supposed to de-escalate, and you're already supposed to use deadly force only in those situations. So what the hell you telling me for like it's new? Why in the hell are you taking something that's been on the books for years and then giving it to me like it's new on Thursday afternoon? Look, y'all, we're going to de-escalate the situation. That's what y'all been supposed to do for years. Look, y'all, we're going to go ahead and only use deadly force if we have to. That's what y'all been supposed to do for years. Your own laws and your own charters. When they take that little pledge to the blue, that's what they literally say they're supposed to do. They just dusted that stuff off, copy and pasted, and gave it back to black folks. They said, Van Jones, take it. Roland Martin, take it. Angela Rye, take it. And then they ran to us and told us how great this George Floyd Justice and Policing Act is. And it wasn't. It never has been. It's a big nothing burger, and it's garbage. This is why we expose the real. This is why we call it all the way out. It says, change the standards to evaluate whether law enforcement use of force was justified, from whether the force was reasonable to whether the force was necessary. Condition grants on state and local law enforcement agencies establishing the same use of force. Family, that's the third time you've seen condition grants on state and local. You haven't seen condition grants on federal. I'm going to tell you why. Because what they're saying is that we'll only try to act like we're doing it on the federal level, but the condition grants is we're asking the state and local level to do this. We're not demanding them to do it. We're not telling them to do it. We're just asking them, hey, could you guys not do this? Could you guys try to not? In reality, they're saying, no, we're going to continue to do it. We'll continue to do it. There's no laws in this for state and local. You haven't seen one thing yet, one iota that says it is deemed unlawful. It is prohibited for anybody on the state or local to do this. You haven't seen nobody from the state or local. Everything from the state and local, they're absolutely positively okay with. There's nothing in here that deals with black folks day to day. All of this is some federal stuff because they're trying to trick you. They're trying to con you. They're trying to hustle you. And by the way, when they start talking about change the standards to evaluate, all the dominant societies is going to do is say, didn't happen. They're going to work right around that. They're going to work right around the family. They'll sit there and do something on camera. Wave at the goddamn camera. They will harm a black person, wave to you on camera, and still make an excuse. But yet they're trying to tell us everything will be okay because it's written down in this George Floyd Act. They will find their way around that every way. You just seen the damn deputy knock on the door, not even say who he was, then jump on both sides out of view, and somehow the sheriff said that was okay. They lied to us 2 minutes before they showed us the damn body cam. They lied to us and don't tell us who the people are on the damn body cam. You mean to believe that they'll just get this right across the board? Hell no. Nice try. Moving it down further. Limit military equipment. Notice they said limit. They said, what's the limitation? Is it 22%, 55%, 33 and a third? What is it? We don't limit is very vague. Listen to the vague terminology. You know you're dealing with the system of supremacy when everything is vague. You know they're trying to hustle you when nothing's clear. Look at this right here. Limit military equipment on American streets and require body cameras. Family, body cameras ain't done nothing. They've been hitting us with the damn body cam for the longest, and it ain't done a thing. But it says limit the transfer of military-grade equipment to state and local law enforcement. So limit basically means they're doing it at 100%. They'll limit it to 99.9%. Moving on. Requires federal uniformed police officers to wear body cameras and requires state and local enforcement to use existing federal funds to ensure the use of body cameras. Notice that they flip-flopped again between federal and local. Again, federal, it says required. When it's state and local, you know, the ones we got to see every day, then it turns into we're going to ask them to do it. You see what I'm talking about? This is what we say. Moving on. Requires marked federal police vehicles to have dashboard cameras. Now they're jumping back to the federal. How come you don't require dash cameras in all police? Why don't you just say all? How about all? Quit trying to split it between the federal and the local and the state. How about you just say all? Everyone, everybody. How about that? But you don't want to say that though, because if you start talking about that, then this applies to every one of you, and you need to use some supremacist wiggle room. G-check, calling them out, y'all. Oh, they can't dance with us. They can't dance with us. They know what time it is. They know what time it is. Foundational Black American, Black Grassroots, we see them all. They can't get none of this off on us. Hold police accountable in court. Now, y'all know, like I know, that is about as good as the paper that is written on. It's about as good as the screen you typed it in on. They can say that for years. They was also supposed to hold every damn body accountable. Ain't held one. Every damn group they got, they supposed to hold accountable. All right? You still got folks running around here with sheets over their face, getting permits to walk down the damn street. And you mean to tell me that the court system is something that's legitimate and go hold somebody accountable? Please. Makes it easier to prosecute offending officers for amending the federal. There it goes. Y'all knew it was coming. Y'all knew it was coming. It makes it easier to prosecute offending officers by amending the federal criminal statute to protect police misconduct. Babble, 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 a whole bunch of talk, and then they threw in federal. The men's requirement in 8 USC section 242. What I told y'all, now they throwing out little numbers and dates and times now. Now listen to this. I don't even know what the hell this means. The men's requirement in 18 U.S.C. section 242 will be amended from the willfulness to the recklessness standard. What the hell does that mean? Let me translate that for you. Lie, 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 bull, you know what, and we ain't gonna do nothing for black folks. Let me go ahead and translate that. Too many numbers. Family, I told y'all, don't ever trust nobody who comes at you talking about something. 62.3 in the third, 45 and a half, the subcommittees and the issues of the criminal committee activity on Thursday at 12 o'clock requires us to stand by 742.9. That don't mean nothing. Anytime somebody's got that much babble, that means that person is lying to you. As Malcolm X said, make it plain. If you ain't making it plain, you're lying. Point blank. Next one. Enables individuals to recover damages in civil court when law enforcement officers violate their constitutional rights by eliminating qualified immunity for law enforcement. Now, this is what I want to get to. Let me tell you the trick bag involved in this. The qualified immunity is basically when they harm you, you can't do a goddamn thing. But like we said, when it comes to us, O.J. Simpson, everybody, they'll put you in every goddamn court. You'll be in civil court, you'll be in criminal court, you'll be in kids court, you'll be in every goddamn thing. Kangaroo court, it don't goddamn matter. But when it comes to the police, they basically said, well, qualified immunity, we can stop that from happening. It enables individuals to recover damages in civil court when law enforcement officers violate their constitutional rights by eliminating qualified immunity for law enforcement. First off, your constitutional rights should allow you to get anybody, first off, point blank. Second off, the president could sign all of that with an executive order. An executive order could end qualified immunity tonight. Tonight. You can end all of that right now, tonight, with an executive order. But they threw that in there, y'all, because they know goddamn well this was doomed to fail. They knew goddamn well this was meant to fail. They knew goddamn well they were planning on this to fail. This, yeah, you ain't lying, Iron Will. Tennis court. They'll have your ass in tennis court. You know what I'm saying? And they'll have you out there with a football, not even playing by the real rules. You be out there playing football on the tennis court. They lying. So qualified immunity was meant to persist. Qualified immunity, in other words, family, is basically the police can do anything to you at any time. There's nothing you can do about it. So we see right then and there what type of time they're on and the way they was trying to hustle and they was trying to maneuver around that. No, we're on that. Qualified immunity, though, is something, as we say, that could have been done a long time ago. Qualified immunity is something that they could end overnight. Will they? Won't they? No, they will not, because they know damn well that is their number one protector. They talk about investigate the police misconduct. They throw in federal. Once again, this is the first sentence. Improves the use. This is it right here. I ain't lying. Watch them hit it. Everyone says federal and state. Improves the use of pattern and practices investigations at a federal level by granting the Department of Justice and Civil Rights Division subpoena power, blah, 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 blah. Nothing about local. So basically, investigating the police, they're saying they'll only do it at a federal level. They won't do it at a local level. And then this is the worst one, y'all. And this is the worst one right here. And this is them really trying to hustle somebody and they think they're playing with us. Empower our communities to reimagine public safety in an equitable and just way. How the hell do you institute that? Empower our communities to reimagine. How do you make reimagine a law? What is this? The Land Before Time? What is this? Avatar? Reimagine public safety. Literally, this is in the bill. They literally put in the bill that they will make communities reimagine public safety. So now federal laws are about reimagining things. It's about focusing and having some type of cartoon in your brain, making up something, just feel good. This is what we be talking about, fam, when we say this. This is what we talking about when we say that these folks are out here trying to play games. Why do you think we started saying tangibles? Reimagine ain't no tangible. Empowering our communities to reimagine equity. I don't want to reimagine. I want reparations. I don't want to reimagine. I want tangibles. I want people locked up. Are we going to reimagine public safety when it comes to Atiana Jefferson? Are we going to reimagine public safety when it comes to Aiyana Jones? Are we going to reimagine public safety when it comes to Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, who's on this act? You are literally trying to get us to reimagine. And family, on top of that, to make that even more messed up, they said the bill reinvest in our communities by supporting critical community-based programs to change the culture of law enforcement and empower our communities to reimagine public safety in an equitable and just way. Where? Tell me the policy. Tell me the program. What are we talking about? You say you're going to do it. You should have an idea. You talking about what? You're talking about investing in community centers. You're talking about neighborhood watches. You're talking about holding them accountable. You're talking about what is this? Where? What are you talking about? You're saying that you're going to reimagine it. I don't need you to reimagine it. I need you to do it. And it also says it establishes public safety innovation grants for community-based organizations to create local commissions and task force to help communities develop concrete alternative policing practices that create accountability. BS. You're going to come up with innovation grants. How much money? How much you plan to spend? Y'all know how much you spend to lock black folks up. I can tell you right now how much each prisoner in the prison industrial complex is worth. So how come you can't tell me how much these grants are going to be? And please stop with the community-based. Anytime they say community-based, y'all, basically what they meaning is we're going to give a couple dollars to the boule in your local community, the local NAACP branch, and they ain't going to do nothing. And this is the final one, family. This is the final one. They got more. It go down. But it says, change the culture of law enforcement with training to build integrity and trust. Require the creation of law enforcement standard recommendations based on President Obama's task force on the 21st century policing. Hell to the no. That right there was the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. It was nothing. It was lies. It was trash. It was a farce. It was a fallacy, and it was flagging the whole goddamn way. There was nothing in there concrete. There was nothing in there solid. There was nothing in there strong. They sat down and said, how can we come up with some laws that look good to a bunch of boule black folks? Let's come up with something that sounds good to a bunch of boule, because they knew they couldn't get at us. No. This right here was probably the most extensive breakdown you've seen of that act. But you know the sad part about it is, y'all, let me tell you what makes that even more messed up, y'all. Out of all of that we just broke down, y'all know that law never even passed? To make that even more messed up, y'all, I told you, the real laws don't pass, and then the reimagination laws don't pass. Let's talk about the fate of the George Floyd Policing Act. Let's talk about what happened to the George Floyd Policing Act. Where did it go? How did it play out? Well, damn it, we're going to talk about how it played out. Look at this right here. The George Floyd Policing Act they started off with a was, not is. You know damn well this didn't pass. They hit you with a was first. The George Floyd Policing Act of 2021 was a policing reform bill drafted by Democrats in the United States Congress. The legislation was introduced to the United States House of Representatives on February 24th, 2021. The legislation aims to combat police misconduct, excessive force, and racial biasness in policing. Nothing. The bill passed the Democratic-controlled House of Representatives on a mostly party-line vote of 220 to 212, but not the evenly divided but Democratic-controlled Senate amid opposition from the Republicans. Hold up. Wait a minute. Family, somebody tell me, what does the not evenly divided but Democratic-controlled Senate mean? It's not evenly divided, but it's Democratic-controlled. And they're saying that the Republicans stopped it from happening. Last time I checked, Joe Biden and the Democratic Party, they had control over the White House, over the Senate, and over the House of Representatives. Let's go all the way there. They had control over the White House, over the Senate, and the House of Representatives. Everything should pass. Black Americans never get anything out of the Democrats, even when the Democrats have control over the whole government. By the way, that's the whole government right there. The Senate, the House, the White House. That's the whole government. Barack Obama had it his first term. Joe Biden had it his first term. I don't want to hear about the Republicans stopped it from happening. If the Democrats wanted it to happen, it would have happened because they controlled everything. What is the use of voting Democrat for that even when they have all the numbers, they still don't get it done? Mind you, y'all, the Democrats don't pass nothing for black folks when they don't have control, and then they don't pass nothing for black folks when they do have control. So what the hell you vote for the Democratic Party for? You ain't getting nothing. Sound like regardless to me, you ain't getting nothing. Literally, they're saying, well, when we have all the power, y'all ain't getting nothing. And then when we have half the power, y'all still ain't getting nothing. But if you vote for us my second term or the midterms, we'll get all the power back, and then we just won't vote for you the same way the last time. Y'all remember, Bill Clinton had all the power of the United States government when he first won. Barack Obama did, and Joe Biden. Those are the three Democratic presidents of the last three Democratic presidents. All of them had all the power and didn't do nothing. I'll tell you what they did. Let me not say they didn't do nothing. They did. They made a lot of laws for all the other communities. Y'all know what Joe Biden did. I got to say it again. I'll say it again. Joe Biden at the inauguration, he crawled all the way from the inauguration to the White House. He pulled out a chair. He pulled out a pen, and he started writing protections for other groups. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He started writing protections for other groups. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And he started writing all types of executive orders. Google how many executive orders Joe Biden wrote on his first day. If I'm not mistaken, it was close to a record. He wrote some of the most executive orders on his first day, not first week, not first month. I'm talking about the first day. Hell, the first hour. He pulled out a pen. He already knew what he was going to do. That's what I'm saying. They already know what they're going to do. They already got it in their mind. Before the election, they already say first hour, everybody getting the hate crime protection, except for Black Americans. And mind you, we showed the statistics. Black American hate crimes against us are way up here. Everyone else is down here. You can add this group, and that group, add them all up, and it still is beneath Black Americans. Black Americans, think about this, y'all. Black Americans have been the number one victims of hate crimes since 1776. It's 2024, and we have been the unequivocal, without a doubt, number one dominant, consistent victim of hate crime attacks since 1776 and before then. I'm only talking about when America started. 1776 to 2024, Black Americans have always been the number one hate crime victims, and we don't have a hate crime protection law. Other groups that literally never even got here until the 1930s have multiple hate crimes laws. Those other groups also have reparations. So you got people who came here in 1930 who have reparations and hate crime protections, and Black Americans who built this country before 1776, we don't have reparations or hate crime law. So what that tells me is that everyone else is being elevated above us, okay? Step for step for step. And then you see us getting all these laws, and next thing you know, they don't even pass when the Democrats who ran on it gave it. Remember, they told us, y'all, they told us straight up that we were going to get all of these laws when Joe Biden won. Joe Biden ran on George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery. Let's not get it twisted. And Rashard Brooks. You go back to the summer of 2020. Don't let nobody lie to you. The summer of 2020, they ran on all of our people, and they didn't give us nothing. Boom. They said negotiations between the Republicans and Democrat senators on a reform bill collapsed in September 2021. Family, they crafted this thing up in February, and it was gone by 2021. And this is what they're trying to, literally, February, so springtime, and it was gone before autumn. Come on, get out of here. Background: the drafting of the legislation was preceded by a series of protests following the harming of George Floyd and other people. Breonna Taylor. The proposed legislation contains some provisions that civil rights advocates have long sought in the name of Floyd's honor. That's when they were bringing in all the Al Sharptons in them. So let's not get it twisted. The same way that all the Al Sharptons sat in on all of the 1994 crime bills against us, they sat in on all those weak-ass provisions that we just lied, that we were lied to about and we broke down just a second ago. It's the same exact ones. So you got the boule that sat there, and the boule said, put in that lie, put in that lie. We'll be good if you give us that one. And then they gave it all back to us. That right there, what we were just talking about. Grants power here, blah, 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 blah. Willing fool. These are all the provisions that didn't do nothing right here. This is it. The committee hearings, they said the committee hearings in June didn't get us anything. The House passed it. Congressional gridlock and the blockage in the Senate. Now, didn't we just see earlier Barack Obama was sitting down, and what was he talking about? What was Barack Obama talking about, y'all? Barack Obama was sitting there saying that blue alert, he said that passed bipartisan. There was another bill that just got wrote last week, and y'all know what I'm talking about, and y'all know the group that is to protect. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And they're passing that right through everything. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That passed very, very quickly. That passed very, very fast. You notice when you start talking about these other ones. Remember when Barack Obama, remember when he made the whole one for the Skittles bags? Y'all remember that, right? Well, that passed very quickly. Expedient. No stopping. Everybody went right on through. And it was all good. Nobody said a damn thing. They moved past. But when it comes to foundational Black Americans, then out of nowhere, then all of a sudden, they can't find it. They can't pass it. They're like, well, we're not sure what could happen, and we'll figure it all out. This is a Democrat and a Republican thing. Let's make this clear. This is about both of those parties. Both of those parties are what we're speaking of. Both of those parties are the ones behind all this. I was watching the great Malcolm X earlier this morning. It was thundering and lightning, man. My damn power damn near went out. But when it came back to, I was watching Malcolm X speak. Malcolm X made a good point. Great point. If you guys ever get the chance, I want you to check out Malcolm X's speech. And it's called "The Government Has Failed Us." Okay? when you see this speech, Brother Malcolm, in his great, you know, when being Alpha Cast, we didn't break down Brother Malcolm. Brother Malcolm says, don't let nobody tell you that a Republican did this. This was a government failure. Don't let nobody tell you a Democrat did it. This was a government. Anytime you see a filibuster, anytime you see we can't pass this law, it didn't make it past the Senate, didn't make it past the House, we can't do an executive order. That's the government. That is not the Democrats. That's not the Republicans. It's the government, okay? Means they're working together against us. Don't let nobody tell you it's about red or blue. It's the government. Don't let nobody tell you it's Democrat or Republican. It's the government. Liberal, conservative, it's the government. This game we play, where we go from this side to this side, that's the government. The reason why Atiana Jefferson isn't getting protected, where that guy can just walk into her house while she's sitting there playing a video game with her nephew and nobody does a damn thing about it, is because the government. The reason why Aiyana Jones is sleeping in 2010 and Barack Obama's writing laws for police officers instead of our young queen is because the government. The reason why George Floyd Act didn't pass, that's the government. It's not one person. It's the government and it's supremacy. Do not separate them. The worst thing you can do is start putting them in little boxes. We don't play these games. That's old. That's the old, outdated. You know what playing games is? Playing games is taking this supremacist and putting a blue jacket on them, taking this supremacist and putting a red jacket on them and saying you like the red better than the blue, or you like this color better than that one. You're playing games and you're playing yourself. You're putting yourself out of position. The black grassroots, all of us, what we're doing now is we're teaching the youth that it's all about us. We got to move as us, and you got to see all ops as the same. All ops are the same. Do not look at this op as better than this. We don't play favorite races. That'll get you nowhere. Look at the situation right now that we were talking about with Palestine, right? The same situation going on. The whole Palestinian situation, they're out here trying to get foundational black Americans on board with the thing. What I always say, y'all need to help us because your government and our government work together. We ain't on that. No. What we're talking about is a system of supremacy. All right. I don't care if the United States government is working with this government over here against your country. That's your problem because we got to deal with it right here every day in America, every single day in America. We're not splitting these people up. This is the government and it's based on supremacy and they all operate and they all function together as one. Anybody who's telling you different is someone who's trying to confuse you. This is about the United States government. Nobody else. Anybody out there that's trying to say what's red or blue, let me tell you this. And I'm going to say this, and I've been saying it for the longest. Y'all know, Black Alpha, I've been saying it. There ain't no such thing as Democrat or Republican with a black person. All right? Those are two parties that your ass is not allowed in. Okay? That's the house on the hill, and you live way down here. Quit worrying about what they're doing. All right? You can't go up there any goddamn way. You ain't going in. You're not their friend. You're not their buddy. They're not going to welcome you and say, come on in, Marquise, have a seat. It's not a party until Marquise shows up. No, you can't go into that. There's no such thing as a Democrat or Republican when it comes to black people. There's no such thing as liberal or conservatives. Those are two people that come up with something for their community. Democrat and Republican, trust me, when they came up with those terms, they weren't thinking about black people. They weren't saying, I got something, Democrat and Republican, and everybody can be a part of it. They came up with Democrat and Republican for themselves. It was black folks who foolishly thought that they can get in on it. Liberal, conservative, no. You can't take ideologies and thought processes and put them in two boxes. We don't think inside the box any goddamn way. I remember Dr. Kabahai Watakamane, he said it best. He said, you don't think inside the box because then all your answers got to come from the box, all right? So they come up with these two political systems that basically is just which side of supremacy is going to dominate. Republican and Democrat really just means supremacy this way, and we're just going to battle to see which supremacist wins. But one of us is going to be the winner. One of us will dominate. Every election is basically supremacy having a gentleman's agreement with other supremacy on which supremacist style will reign supreme for 4 years. Right now, the Democratic supremacy is winning, so we're going to have that for 4 years. If the Republicans win, then you will get Republican supremacy for the next 4 years. Then they'll meet up after that, and then they'll determine the next 8 years. All an election is two supremacists having a gentleman's agreement on which side is going to dominate everybody else. It was only the black folks who wanted to be a part of those. It's the same ones who thought they were on the plantation with them. It's the same ones who thought they were in the house with them. You're not welcome there. Barack Obama was the president of the Democratic Party, and he was getting punked by people in the damn trailer park. No, you cannot be a Republican or a Democrat as a black person. The only thing that you can ever genuinely, sincerely be a part of is the foundational Black American family tree. Any other group you can't be a part of. We talk about the Black and Brown coalition. That doesn't even exist. We talk about minorities. That doesn't exist. Neither does the Republicans and the Democrats. As a matter of fact, y'all, when you start talking about the Republicans and the Democrats like that, those are only things to subdue you and keep you calm and keep you at bay. That's all that is. That isn't meant to strengthen our community. That isn't meant to build our community. It's only meant to have Black folks thinking that somehow they're included. I'm here to let everybody know you're not included. You're not included at all. We are only included in things that we create. We are only included in things that are for us. We are only included in things that belong to us. And those are not it. Point blank, bottom line. So this is why they can't. And you want to ever have the answers to that? Look how everybody else gets their protections. The Republicans give them their protections. The Democrats give them their protections. I thought they were two different groups. I thought the Democrats and Republicans didn't get along. I thought it wasn't about the government. I thought it wasn't about supremacy. I thought it was just about this group and that group. So all of a sudden, this group, they can't do nothing for us, and this group, they can't do nothing for us. All of a sudden, they get together real quick, don't they? And do something for everybody else. So this is why foundational Black Americans have to operate right here on our own in the Black grassroots. This is what it is, point blank. And this is why we changed the game. And by the way, Couch 2024 puts an end to all of that. We only going to bring up the problems if we got the solutions. I got a damn good solution. Your couch. You put your couch in play, you're going to win every day. That part, that part, that part. Breonna Taylor, harmed in her house, minding her own business. Atiana Jefferson, harmed in her house, minding her own business. Not to mention the millions of other Black Americans who have been harmed minding their own business. Amir Laki, let's bring him up as well. You go, like you pick the name. This is what I'm saying. You pick the name, and I guarantee you're going to see exactly what we're talking about. It doesn't stop, y'all. It doesn't stop. It's all the way across the board. And I want y'all to see this. This is my Twitter. If you guys are not following me on Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter. It go down on the Black Alpha Network. It go down on the Black Alpha Network. You check me out on Twitter. Make sure y'all subscribe to me on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Black Alpha Net W1 on both. It go down. But look at this, family. This is what we get. This is the type of energy that we're going against. Look what this person put. I said, let me tell you what I said. Let me show you what I said. I said 3 Black Americans all targeted and attacked in their home by police. This is another reason why we need an anti-Black hate crime law. That's a simple thing. You can't refute that. You can't dispute that. That's very simple, right? Making it plain. That's what we do. That's what Brother Malcolm said, right? Make it plain. All right, cool. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. This guy says, will it apply against Black suspects who harm Black people? Look at that, y'all. You see? You already. Look at it. Already, y'all. Already. There you go. There you go. In the world of Twitter. This is what we're talking about. In the world of Twitter right here. This is what this man said. This is what this guy said. That's what he said. Automatically jumped out the window with that. Automatically. Okay. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. And what would that law look like? The same one everybody else has. The same one everybody else has. This is what we got when we start talking about tangibles. You don't see these people running interference on anybody else. It's only with us, y'all. It's only with us. You don't see these people always in someone else's business. Y'all notice it only comes to foundational Black Americans. They want to start running interference. What reparations look like? How are we going to get reparations? What money? Where the money come from? A hate crime law? What you mean? Does it apply to Blacks who harm Black folks? What kind of stuff you talking about? Now you start talking about those other communities who just got laws passed for them last week. Ain't nobody running interference to them. This is why we take the stance, mind your own damn business. Stay out of foundational Black Americans. We're not telling you to, we're demanding you to. You better stay out of our business. Right here. Check out the next one. None of that happened because those people were Black. Look at that one. Right there. There goes another one. I'm telling y'all, this is the way the game goes. This is the way the game goes, family. We're not done. Right here. They are just Black. Look at this one. Oh, man. Y'all got to see this one. Look at this one. Look at this. They are just Black. No such thing as a Black American. Oh, you know they had to say that. See, they wouldn't have said that a couple years ago, though. They wouldn't have said that a couple years ago. A couple years ago, when we was on the African American before delineation, he would have never said that. This person says they are just Black. No such thing as a Black American. No, shit. I mean, you could think that all you want to, but let me tell you what I found out. The truth don't give a damn if you think it, if you thought it, if you was gonna think thought it. The truth is the truth, regardless of how you feel. Black Americans absolutely 100% all goddamn day. And it don't matter what anybody says on Twitter at all. But I wanted to show you guys, this is the type of animosity that we receive when we start standing on a hate crime law. It's the same as standing on reparations. This is why what we say when we go to Washington, D.C. on June 15th, those are going to be the two main policies that we stand on. That is it right there. As well as stopping illegal immigration. But these two right here, look at the opposition, y'all. Look at the opposition. This right here. Look at this next one. Oh, y'all going to see this one. Look at this one. Look at this one. Are you assuming they were harmed because they are black, right? How would the officer know Roger Fortson is a black man? Same with, he put Ariana Jefferson. He didn't get the name right. It's Atiana Jefferson and Breonna Taylor. The cop who harmed Jefferson did so through a window at night. Her own nephew said she pointed the weaponry towards him. Look, fam. Okay, where do we go? First off, can I show y'all this? May I? Y'all see it? Woo! Look, hold on now. Family, what is that right there? Somebody tell me what that is right there. And you get your answer to why you heard all that damn babbling right there. You understand why you heard all of that damn babbling right there. Look at that. All right, look, this right here, family. That tells you all the way. All right. The back end is at 4:30. The front end is at 7 o'clock. So that's why. Look what you see right here. Look what's in the bio. Look what's in the bio. You see why. You already know. You knew it, didn't you? Y'all knew exactly who that was, and you see them. Look who we've already encountered, y'all. Look, I've only read 3 different responses. You had the boule guy with the blue suit, who's probably a Democrat, talking about, what about when y'all harm each other? Then you had the W saying, there's no such thing as Black American. And now you got the tether. You already knew it was coming. Tether hairline. You absolutely right, Church of Black Power. Yes, indeed. Tether hairline. How we know? Family, how did we know? This is what come on now. This is what we saying. Look at that, fam. We talking about a hate crime. I simply put up 3 pictures of people who harm. Fam, listen to me. We're talking about 3 Black Americans who were all harmed in their home defenseless. And this is the type of animosity we get, like we did something wrong. We are standing on something noble. We're talking about people who are no longer here. We're talking about souls that are no longer on this planet. And that's the type of animosity we get. We get treated like we did something wrong when we're the ones who are harmed. We're talking about our people being harmed and they're getting upset. And in 3 responses, you've seen the boule, you've seen the supremacists, and then you see the tether. And when we say that the boule, the supremacists, and the tether are getting G-checked, everybody gets upset. Why are y'all doing that? That is the reason why. That is your op. Those are the people against us. And guess what? They got a hard time in front of them, fam, because it's on now. We ain't stopping. No. They can run that all they want. But guarantee you, we going to keep it going. So this guy gave a whole long spiel. Everything he said was wrong. Look at this one. There is literally no proof any of these people were targeted. LOL. And no, you don't need an anti-Black crime bill unless it applies to Black people also. Hate crimes laws already exist. If they already exist, how come everybody else still gets them? If they already exist, how come everybody else still gets them? Yep. It's funny how they always tell us that these laws exist, but yet they're still writing new ones for everybody else. How come it doesn't already exist for everybody else? How come it doesn't already exist with all the other communities? It sounds like you don't want us to have the law. It sounds like you're trying to stop us from having the law. It sounds like you don't want foundational Black Americans to get what belongs to us. That's what it sounds like. I don't even know what this dude says. When I wrote the book, Black Lives Don't Matter, I wanted to answer the age-old question. What did Black people do to the world to deserve so much hate? Saying, well, okay, this dude's on some Black Lives Matter stuff. I don't need to hear none of that. Like I said, I ain't with the how many more times and none of that. I don't care about none of that. I don't hear it. Oh, by the way, this is a little off subject. Did y'all see this? Meghan Merkel is over in Africa. Did y'all see that? I ain't even gonna get into that. Meghan Merkel is over there in Africa dancing along. Look at this. But that's a whole nother story for another day. We'll get to that on another time. We'll get to that on another time, and another time. But family, this is what we're talking about. This is what we see. This is what we see. Somebody put more of this needs to happen by authorities. So you already see what type of time he's on. Yep, exactly. So this is what you go right here. Somebody made a point. Notice the media has barely covered the story. That's exactly what I was talking about. So we see exactly the type of games that they play with us. We see exactly the opposition. We see exactly the type of games that they will continue to play. This is why we standing on business. This is why we stand certified. This is why we on the same accord. This is why we moving as one. And it won't stop. As a matter of fact, this situation, as we talk about our good brother, Roger Fortson, y'all remember this because they look damn near the same. Look at this right here. Y'all remember that right there? Y'all remember Amber Geiger? Amber Geiger did the same exact thing in the same exact situation. That's why I say these stories are all the same, fam. These stories are all the same. Remember that judge hopped over the goddamn rail, ran up to her, gave her her Bible, gave her a big old mammoth hug, and then boom. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about, fam. So you see this right here. You see that right there. And then the same exact thing happens to our good brother. The same exact thing. And what was the Karen involved in both? So as we see, the situation played out where a Karen makes a call. The deputy goes and they send him to another Karen. That Karen mentions another Karen. That Karen sends him up to the apartment, shows him the number. The police say was the exact number. There was a redacted and unofficial 911 call that all press has been fighting to find. No one can find it. You got people that are blurred out. You can't see. You see the same exact story all the way across the board. Not to mention that the Fort Walton Beach Police Department already has their own anti-foundational Black American racism all the way through it. They've had cases. They popped at somebody about an acorn. You see it all play. Have you seen anybody connect the two that this is the same police department? No, you don't see this. Let's talk about Fort Walton Beach, by the way. This is Fort Walton Beach right here, y'all. Look at the demographics, all right? Fort Walton Beach, y'all, when you start talking about W's, 69%, all right? You start talking about Hispanics, 11%. You start talking about Black Americans, 9.1%. There has been a long history of anti-Black racism in Fort Walton Beach. Everybody knows about it. And you guys all heard the same. In the South, when you start talking about Florida, they say the more south, the more north you go, the more south it gets, right? That's exactly what you're dealing with them. The more you go, the more you start to see it. And fam, there's anti-Black racism all through there. And that police department, what we've come to find out, that police department has a multitude of different racial problems that go on there. But look what I found when I was looking at it, fam. Look at this right here. Look at this right here, y'all. Randomly. Look at this right here. Watch this. Tell me this don't prove the point. That police department has the acorn situation. That police department has the Roger Fortson. Look at this right here. Racist, so beware. This is about Fort Walton Beach. Listen what they say. This is just some random person put this. A lady named Charlie. Don't come here if you are Black. They will call the cops on you if you complain about your food. They will overcharge you too and allow the police to rob you for payment of food. This was at a damn restaurant in Fort Walton Beach. A restaurant. Random ass restaurant. And then you literally see them saying, if you're Black, do not go there. Because if you do, they will not only charge you, they will also bring in the police to work with them. You see what we're talking about? So you see the anti-Black racism all through Fort Walton Beach, all across the whole area. And you see right there that random ass people, and I don't know how many of my brothers and sisters have been there, you know what I'm saying? But this is what you get in the state of Florida. This is what you get all across Florida. This is what you see across Florida, inside out. You see this type of racism. These are people randomly at restaurants, okay? Randomly at damn restaurants. They out there putting this. I came across this trying to come across something else. You understand? How you come across this trying to come across something else at a goddamn restaurant? They saying, man, Don't come here. But the craziest part about all that is, fam, they run that back and they spun it and they say, hey, man, at the same damn time, y'all got to be careful because these folks will call the police on you. And then what do they say? The police will show up and then the police will get you at the same exact time. So, nah, we not playing these games. So we not playing these games, fam. This is what it is. We have to be cautious. We got to be on game. We got to stay on point. All my brothers and sisters who go through Florida, all my brothers and sisters who go everywhere, because like we said, we don't put this stuff in the boxes. We don't put this stuff in the boxes, fam. We stay on game all the way across the board, because the minute you start saying this side is better than that side, you're going to run to the wrong one. You feel me? Don't get into the burning house theory. You know what I'm talking about the burning house. Don't get into that. The burning house theory is turned back on you, and it won't be good for foundationals. So we got to stay on it. We got to stay with it. We got to stay focused. We got to stay on the same page. But this is what's happening with our brothers and sisters all across the country. We're seeing the same type of games. We're seeing the same type of nonsense. This right here as well. Check this out. What are we on? What are we on? What are we on? Right here. Look at this right here. DC police officer harms a black man who was asleep in his vehicle. Right there. Footage reveals. Name me one time that the footage has changed it, though. Name me one time that the footage has flipped it. Name me one time the footage has made anything any different. You don't see it. You don't see it at all. Why? It's because the footage is what they use. Trust me, fam. The dominant society knows exactly how to play around your footage. They ain't scared of footage. You show them some footage, y'all, and they're going to say, okay, we got 100 different excuses why the footage don't mean nothing. 100 different reasons why the footage ain't going to help. 100 different reasons why they'll alibi it. And next thing you know, you'll start seeing people pop up from every which way. And what are they going to be saying, fam? He shouldn't have ran. He was just fat. We don't know, family. They told us Eric Gardner was overweight. Remember, George Floyd was on fentanyl. Tamir Rice was 12, but he was really 192 pounds. A 12-year-old's not that small. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm saying. They know ways around it. This is why we're not focusing on that. This is why we need an anti-Black American hate crime law. And that's why I said we will be the ones to enforce it. It's all about us. We enforce every other goddamn thing, don't we? Don't we? We enforce every other thing, every other law we enforce by ourselves. So when you got brothers and sisters out here sleeping and relaxing in their cars, look where we're at. Sleeping and relaxing in their cars, putting in work. You see this all across the board 24/7. But you notice this though, family? And y'all know I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up, because I know y'all know exactly what we about to say. Isn't it funny? Y'all know that situation that happened. Y'all remember in Minnesota where that police officer harmed that W woman? If I'm not mistaken, that was a situation probably where dude really didn't know. The police officer gets a call. He's in a dark alley. And then that lady pops up out of nowhere. And then she pounded on his car or something. And he let off on her, right? Y'all remember that. We all remember that story. Okay. Well, that story ended real quickly, and that man went to jail. And then next thing you know, if y'all remember that dude's name, please let me know. I cannot remember the name of the police. I think the police officer, I think he was a Somali dude. I think he was Somali, if I'm not mistaken. He damn sure wasn't no Black American. Damn sure wasn't no Black American. But the case in point, and this goes to all them tethers who come here, and they start coming. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, thank you, my brother. Yes, yes. That story came real quick. If y'all remember that story came fast. What they ended up doing with that whole situation, family, they took that woman and they gave her one of the fastest settlements in American history. So let's go there. All the folks that was just saying, it don't really matter. How you know that they was Black? Man, they didn't know. First off, let's say this straight. When it came to every single situation, all right, they knew Atiana Jefferson was Black. They knew that Anaya Jones was Black. They knew that Roger Fortson was Black, all right? They weren't just doing anything to do it. They knew exactly who they was dealing with, straight up and down. They knew exactly who they was dealing with. So all these people running around saying, well, they didn't know that they was Black. They knew they was Black. That's the reason why they reacted so quickly, because they didn't react so quickly when it came to everybody else. When it came to everybody else, then all of a sudden it's real slow. Soon as they see, I'm telling you, soon as they see Black, they go into hyperdrive and they make decisions, aggressive decisions, ASAP. They don't even think. It's just boom. It's training. You feel me? It's the third wheel. They already know. Y'all remember this. This was it right here. Yes, indeed. This story. Look at this. Ex-Minneapolis police officer sentenced to 57 months in jail. And family, they got the quickest settlement that you ever seen. The quickest settlement you ever saw. That settlement came in so goddamn fast, family. They wrapped that up fast. $24 million. Yep. $24 million ASAP. They didn't wait. There wasn't no wait until the footage come out. We don't know yet. You notice that the sheriff never came out there and gave no type of excuses like they were trying to do. They didn't talk about exonerating her. Family, we literally just showed the sheriff trying to say, well, we'll exonerate Roger Fortson if we can. We'll exonerate him. They didn't do that. Nuh-uh. Nobody even acknowledged or even thought to say that perhaps she was the criminal. It was wrongdoing. It went right through ASAP. Isn't it funny, fam? Think about this. Think about this. When it comes to passing laws for all these other communities, it goes by real quick. Expedient to get this group a protection. Expedient to give this group reparations. When it comes to writing settlements and giving millions of dollars to non-black people, expedient for your settlement. Expedient for your $24 million. It only slows down when it comes to black Americans. If another group wants to get reparations, they'll do it overnight. If another group wants to hate crime protections, they'll do it overnight. But when it comes to us, it's the we don't know yet. It's to slow you down. What I say, the dominant society wants to stall you, they want to stop you, or they want to sabotage you. Everything else for everyone else is fast as hell. But when it comes to us, stop. They gave that lady right there. That woman got more hate crime protection laws, money than anybody else in American history. Fast as hell, but yet we still got to deal with the Ben Crumps of the world. We still got to deal with the Al Sharptons of the world. And we still got to deal with the Roland Martins of the world telling us that we already have hate crime protections. This is what we mean when we say these folks is on a completely different time, family. We're not moving on their time. They're going to slow us down quick as hell. This is why I always say we will be the ones who hold it down. We will be the ones who enforce it. Nobody else will enforce foundational black American justice other than foundational black Americans. You can't sit back and be like, well, we'll just wait. No, or the laws are already out there. We got a bunch of BS laws that ain't ever done nothing for us. And those BS laws that ain't ever done nothing for us, they're not enforced anyway. You can sit down all day long and they'll pass you a law. But if they know you ain't going to enforce it, then nothing means nothing. This is it right here. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey announced Friday afternoon that the city had reached a settlement with the family of that lady, tallying 20 plus million. This is the largest police settlement in Minneapolis history. Of that, 18 million is earmarked for the family. Look at that right there. It is a priority for the city council and the mayor. That part of this settlement includes funds to be invested to address other issues of police violence in our communities. Notice that the mayor made a statement. Notice they start talking about committees. Notice they start talking about everybody else. But when it comes to foundational black Americans, then out of nowhere, fam, you start getting a runaround. I've yet to see any mayor, any councilman, or anybody start talking about what we have to deal with. I haven't seen any mayor, any councilman start talking about our cases particular. Anytime they do, they basically trying to hit you with some all lives matter. You know that's what's coming up next. They'll be like, well, you know, all lives matter mean we need to all get together. The only time you'll ever hear somebody of high-ranking official speak on what belongs to us and what we deserve, the only time you're ever going to hear that, family, is when that person is trying to all lives matter it. But you'll get the mayor, you'll get the governor, you'll get the city councilman. They'll speak on everybody else's issues real quick. You know why? Because everybody else is about to get something that benefits them. So that's the difference. This is why we pay no attention to them. This is why we focus on our own. This is why we will continue to stay focused on our own. That's just the nature of the beast, fam. That's the type of games that they on. So like we said, when it comes to our good brother put in a lot of work for this country. Our good brother served the United States of America. Our good brother served everything that we talk about. It's funny, on one hand, this country comes and tells us that we're all American. They're the most patriotic people in the world. It's all about patriotism 24/7, 365 in the United States of America. Patriot, patriot, patriot. America, America, America. until it comes to a black person. When it comes to a black person, like we said, you don't see no veterans coming out. I ain't seen veterans for blacks. I ain't seen veterans standing on business. I ain't seen not near person come out and stand on this for our brothers. But the reason why I wanted to make sure this episode got out there no matter what, even though they was trying to mess with it, but I want to run it all the way back, family. The reason why I wanted this all the way out, y'all, is because we cannot allow this story to go away. We cannot allow our good brother to go right down the same path as all the other stories that we played. How many of these other stories are even spoke of? How many of these other stories are even talked about? These people are gone. They're gone, not coming back. And the next thing you know, we'll move on to the next one. The worst thing you can do psychologically is be conditioned to deal with this type of stuff, get used to it. The worst thing that happened, y'all, and I'm telling you, the dominant society knew exactly what they were doing. The dominant society said, let's put these black folks on the same path so eventually they'll get used to it. Psychologically, the dominant society, they got us all prepared. They knew what it was, y'all. They knew that they were going to give us the Trayvon Martin and then give us the routine. They knew that they were going to give us the Mike Brown in the routine, the Sandra Bland in the routine, the Atiana Jefferson in the routine, the Anaya Jones in the routine. We knew what they were going to do. So what ended up happening? Y'all remember when this all first started? Anybody who's old enough to remember, you go back to Sean Bell for all my people in New York City. You feel me? Because Sean Bell came and went. Who talks about Sean Bell? Who talks about Sean Bell? Sean Bell got harmed on the night that he was married, if I'm not mistaken. Sean Bell had a life ahead of him. The man literally on his honeymoon got harmed. Nobody talks about Sean Bell no more. Trayvon Martin is supposed to be an old man. Mike Brown is supposed to be an old man. We showed Anaya Jones, she's supposed to be 21 years old. You feel me? It goes on. But I'm not just talking about the dominant society forgetting about this stuff. I'm talking about a lot of black folks who forget about it. They just move right on. Move on to the next one. The dominant society said, we don't really want to talk about all these police harmings. When Obama came into office and all these police harmings started popping up everywhere, at first the dominant society was like, nope, let's not talk about it. But then the dominant society said, you know what? I got a better idea. Let's talk about it. Let's put these black folks in a little circle jerk routine, and eventually they'll get used to it. Eventually, they'll just fall all the way back. So what ended up happening is they psychologically prepared us to say, man, ain't nothing gonna happen. Remember at first, black folks was grabbing the camera or grabbing the remote, hitting the camera saying, what's gonna happen next? Oh, come on. Everybody was glued in front of the TV. And then what happened? You see, they harm us. All the facts are clear that we're harmed. Then the next thing you know, they have all the CNN anchors come out and say, we don't know yet. All the news media, we don't know yet. They bring on a couple black folks to start crying. Y'all know what I mean. All the grown-ass black men got on television, start crying. Black Lives Matter comes out, starts talking about the Skittles bag community. They know exactly what they were doing. They found a way to pivot off of all those police harmings. They knew, they said, we could take this, we could take that, and then eventually we can work in our favor. They knew we could take all of these things happening and get you to go vote for Joe Biden. They knew they could take all these things that happen and then get you to go donate money to Black Lives Matter. They knew they could take all these things that happen and then eventually they were going to wear black folks down to the point now, what happens? When you see a black person get harmed, you got a lot of black folks who say, man, I don't even care. You know they ain't going to do nothing anyway. And then they walk off. That is the worst mentality to have. That's a quitter. And you need to sit down. There's no room for you. You're not built for this work if that's the type of time you want. Remember, black folks used to be, man, we got to see what's going on. We got to see what's going on. They started playing with you. They have a whole court date. The victim is done for, and they started shaming them. Then they start saying the criminal is exonerated. The criminal did nothing. And then black folks just gave up. A lot of black folks said, all right, cool. You still see that defeated Negro now. Man, it don't matter. Guarantee right now, you can start talking about our good brother, Roger Fortson. There's going to be about 5-6 black folks you're going to see that's going to say, man, these the folk going to do whatever they want to do. It don't even matter. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm saying. This is what happened. When it came down to everybody, they slandered. They start talking about Trayvon Martin. Y'all remember Jesse Peterson? Trayvon Martin was a thug. They let them go around. You can't say none of that about their people. They will literally put a bill out. They will put a crime on you, a case, if you say something about one of their people. They said the most terrible things about Breonna Taylor. They said the most terrible things about George Floyd, about Eric Gardner, about Trayvon Martin, about Jordan Davis. They said the most terrible things about them on the news. And then they turn into a debate. I always tell people, be careful what you start debating, because the dominant society will have you debating something that's not debatable. They try to sucker us into it. And a lot of folks fail for it. And then eventually folks just start giving up. They're like, I don't care. I'm going to go vote for Joe Biden. He'll save us. No, he ain't save us. I'm going to go try to do this. No. We now in the Black Grassroots, we moving forward. We pushing right along. We got our mind right, money right. So we focus on everything, and we're going to make sure that we get our own justice one way or another. That is what we are, family. I don't care what nobody says. This right here was our good brother with his mother. And Mother's Day just passed, and she wasn't with him on Mother's Day. You understand? Just like plenty mothers. Mothers who aren't with their kids on Mother's Day because of being victims of an anti-Black race war. And some kids don't have their mothers because the mother is a victim in an anti-Black race war. In the system of supremacy, let me show y'all my face when I say this. In the system of supremacy, there ain't no such thing as a Black child. In the system of supremacy, there ain't no such thing as a Black woman. In the system of supremacy, everybody's viewed as a man. They don't view our women as women. They don't view our kids as kids. They tell us that our kids are really grown, Tamir Rice. They tell us that our women are really men, Sandra Bland. And then all the men are going to get targeted. Every other group, it's men, it's women, it's everything. Isn't it funny, fam? When it comes to election season, they always talk about the Black man and the Black woman. Then they start splitting us up. But when it comes to anti-Black race soldiers, they treat our women like they're men. And they treat our kids like they're grown. There's no middle ground. There's no man, woman, child in the system of supremacy. All the women and kids are viewed as men, and all the men are viewed as criminals. That is the way they view it. That's the way they will always view it, and it ain't ever going to change. Now, election season may come around, and they be talking about Black women saved the election. Black men is voting for this. 22.5% of Black women are going here. Then all of a sudden, they want to make our women women. But let a race soldier knock on your door tonight. Then all of a sudden, they're going to try to tell you that our women are really just men. Or they'll try to talk about the young Black youth. But all of a sudden, when our young Black youth are encountered by race soldiers, all of a sudden, they're not youth no more. Now, all of a sudden, they're grown. They do whatever they want. If it's a body cam that shows them committing a crime, they're going to lie about it. If it is footage of them committing a crime, they're going to lie about it. If it's them harming our kids, they're going to lie about it. If it's them writing a BS law with a bunch of provisions that don't mean nothing, they're going to lie about it. That's what they will always do. They will continue to do that. This is what it is. So certified salute to our good brother. I will continue to cover this case as well as every other case. One thing about the Black Alpha Network family that separates me from a lot of people in the Black media, it separates me from a lot of the Black grassroots, is this is all about activism, street activism. If there is a young missing child, I will do the best I can to find them. I will do the best I can to help the families. I will do the best I can to support them. If there is a hate crime, I will get in a Uber and go to the scene of the crime, and I'll stay there until I have to. If it's about standing on business for reparations, I'll drive 3 hours to talk for 2 minutes. Does not matter. If it's about going to see the president or the vice president, I will go pull out my phone and report there. And then I will tell them that we don't want Hip Hop History Month or collard greens neither. I did that as well. No matter what it is, family, I will continue to do it because it's all about real, genuine, solid, sincere, Black grassroots activism. Not being a news anchor, not being a content creator, not being an internet personality. It's all about activism. In between Tuesday to Tuesday, I'm putting in activist work. I've had people call me and say, can you talk to my child? I had people call me and say, hey, man, this person is missing. Can you help me out? I had somebody call me and say, hey, I got the government's after me in my neighborhood. I've got different supremacist groups harming me. What can I do? I'll be there and I'll do my best. I'll give it all my passion and everything because I'm from the same vein as the Huey Newtons. I'm from the same vein as the Bobby Seals. I'm from the same vein as the Fred Hamptons, okay? The Black Panther Party, that type of style, where we going to stand up and we going to go out there and handle the business. We're not going to say, they not going to do nothing, I quit. We're not going to say, well, vote blue no matter who. We're not going to say, why we need a law? We already got laws. If you defeated, if you weak, then you ain't got no room to stand around all of us certifieds. And I mean, every last one of y'all. This is what it's about. So the black activism will continue to grow. And I promise you, and I was literally just saying this earlier, I'm going to take this to heights that are unimaginable. And I'm going to continue to dedicate everything in it. The Black Alpha Network, me personally, 6, we're going to take it all the way there. We're going to go all the way live. We're going to stand on activism, and we're going to do it for the family because we are all family. You guys are my family. I don't give a damn about no other group. I don't care about anybody. The only thing I care about is foundational Black Americans. I don't care if it's a foundational Black American harmed in California. That's my brother, sister. I don't care if it's a foundational Black American harmed in New York. That's my brother and sister. The Midwest, that's my brother and sister. In the South, my brother and sister. We all going to stand on business together. So the people know who's really an activist, and the people know who really puts their heart into this, and the people know that if it ever goes down, and we all got to get busy and go to the front line and really, really start moving some furniture with folks. The people know Black Alpha going to be right there on the front line with you, and we're going to be holding it down. And not just that, we're going to do it, and we're going to win because there's no other option other than victory. Victory is the only option. Victory is the only result. Victory will be the only outcome. So, man, I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all know they try to play with this one on Sunday, but we came back again on Tuesday to cover it. Then we're going to come back again on Sunday. So every Sunday at 6 o'clock, we in. Lock us in. Black Alpha Network. Sundays at 6, Tuesdays at 7. We're going to keep on pushing all the way through. Can't wait to see y'all in Washington, D.C. I will get on stage. And let me tell y'all, I promise y'all, what I got for Washington, D.C. at the Rally for Reparations is going to be phenomenal. It is going to be amazing and unseen. I'm literally going to bring the heat. And we're going to definitely stand on Lineage business. I cannot wait for y'all to hear what I got. But it's going to be a whole beautiful weekend. I can't wait to see everybody face to face, eye to eye, man to man, woman to woman, man. I love y'all with a passion. Y'all know one of the things like I always tell people to separate foundational Black Americans from everybody else is that we are exceptional. One thing that separates the Black Alpha Network, man, from a lot of other folks is that I'm the man of the people. I'm the man of the people. I'm with the family. I don't care about nothing else. I'm the people's champ. I love being with the people. I love the daps, the pounds, the hugs, everybody I've met. I love being next to y'all because this don't mean nothing without the FBA family tree. So I send the biggest certified salute to all of you guys. One love to the whole FBA family tree, man. You guys make sure you donate to the rally. One love, much respect to our big brother, Tariq Nasheed. Much respect to all of the leaders and all the speakers. Can't wait to see you guys there, but it's only started. This is a foundational Black American summer. We going to run things. We going to bring it. And as I said, when we on the front line, y'all just make sure that you look to your side because I'm going to be right there with you. See you guys again on Sunday, 6 o'clock. See you guys again on Tuesday. I will continue to follow up on the story. We'll continue to bring receipts. And whatever I find out, I'll do like I always do. I'll bring it to the family, man. Certified salute. Don't you guys ever forget, Black is beautiful and beautiful is always Black. One love.
Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.